Hello, everyone. Randy Liu alongside Kevin Rabichow, and it's 1 a.m. right now. You know what time it is? It's the Monarch Millions, and we got another match between Ossi Ketola, and he's going to seek vengeance against Alex Foxen for, guess how much, Kevin?
I mean, I
You
know
know?
I know the
tell
number.
Tell them then.
$6 million each.
$6 million
Randy.
each. Yep.
$6 million each. That's $12 million on the line for round one, and we don't know how long this goes. We saw yesterday the stakes doubled in round two.
Yeah, so obviously this is day 3 of the Monarch Millions. Day 1 we had Ossi Ketola played against Limitless, lost a $2 million match. Then he lost a $4 million match, right? And then to day 2, it was against Alex Foxen, a new opponent. And then Monarch actually won the very first match for $2 million. And all of a sudden, they raised the stakes. They made it a $10 million match. In the end, Alex Foxen won round 2 of that one. So he was up $3 million. So here today, he's looking for vengeance on Alex Foxen, who he did win one of the heads-up sit-and-goes. And this time, $6 million apiece. So he's not the type of guy that's looking to just break even, right? Like he's like, oh,
No.
well, I want to win this match. I want to win all my money back, and I want to win some more.
Yeah, I mean, this not just let's reset the balance. This is obviously someone who's come in seeking competition. Ossi, I think, made that very clear before coming out here and continuously just wants to battle, wants to be put in spots. I'm looking, Randy, we spoke last night about the adjustments game that we were observing, especially Alex Foxen in match 2 came out very different from match 1. I want to know if Ossi went to the tape. I want to know if he's coming today fresh with a slightly different game plan. I mean, let's look to see what comes.
Let's look to see what comes because they are about to start shortly. $6 million apiece, $12 million to the eventual winner. 100 big blinds apiece, and you cannot top up and you cannot leave unless you win it all or lose it all.
Close enough. Close enough.
First hand. As you can see, the blinds are 30,000, 60,000. Starting stack, $6 million apiece. I mean, I would imagine the game plan for Foxen is just continue to do what he did in the very last heads-up sit-and-go, right?
I think that's logical. You don't want to jump to conclusions about what sorts of adjustments your opponent may or may not have made overnight. Just keep doing what was working for you yesterday and see what stands out to you.
Pre-flop raise, pocket fours. In comes the call from Foxen. King 7 of diamonds.
Check.
Queen 10-5. Late. Let's see if Ossi wants to put in a c-bet. He does not. And the king on the turn for Foxen is great. So he takes the lead.
Saw a lot of aggression in these spots from Foxen yesterday.
And you see the difference? He's checking. Perhaps an adjustment to Ossi Ketola, who has been checking a lot of air in the previous match. Perhaps he feels there's more value in inducing from a hand that has no equity. What a run out for King 7. Running kings.
Here I would expect a large bet if Alex does decide to take the lead.
You're just trying to get the max out of a queen or a 10x, maybe even 5. Look at the check. This is a big adjustment from Foxen.
Yeah, I mean, this almost exactly what we were speaking about yesterday, Randy, was Ossi was most aggressive in this line. He's not going to bet the 2 4s. But if Ossi had air there, we think maybe an opportunity Alex is presenting for him to bluff.
Yeah, that seems like that was an adjustment because normally we didn't see Foxen go for the third check when he had the goods.
No, normally just bomb river, hope to get called.
But, you know, the gig is up.
120.
Ossi saw that hand showdown immediately. In terms of pre-flop raise size, nothing has changed for Foxen, min raise. Ossi Ketola going for 2.5x. It's just so insane that we're playing for $12 million right now. 8-5 off versus 9-7 offsuit. Pair of fives.
Do you remember by chance, Randy, what the largest pot was from the Ossi versus Jungle Man match?
I didn't watch that personally, but chat's got you there.
Help me out, chat. We want to...
100K C bet. Foxen thinking about a 9-7 offsuit, perhaps a bit surprised as opponents actually C betting today.
Yeah, this is a spot that we saw Ketola checking behind a lot, even with hands as strong as the pair of fives. But remember back to one of the last pots that we covered last night, it was a successful check raise bluff on a paired board after turn barrel. Foxen, I think they're just considering, should I just raise dark on the flop here and barrel turn, expecting my opponent to make some big folds.
Pocket fours, still best. Queen, jack 3. In comes the C-bet, which should win it.
Yeah, absolute whiff for Monarch. 5 deuce of clubs.
Indeed it does. And I got word that apparently the biggest pot about that you're asking me about the Jungle Man match was 5.2 million roughly.
Yeah, I heard that on the mic. Chat suggesting it was larger. I hear 3 or 4 people referencing 7.7. Clarification coming in there. Standing pot was 5.2 million. There was an additional 2.5 million bet, so the total reached 7.7, but it wasn't called. So we would, in the official books, clock that at a 5.2
Okay.
million euro pot.
We had an 8 million the other day, right? We're very close to that.
Did we?
Yeah, we did.
All in the Limitless match?
The Limitless one, the bet jam with ace queen versus ace 4.
That's right. Bet jam got called.
That was pretty much close to stacks.
Setting a new high mark then.
You know, we could eclipse that. For now, though, queen 5 offsuit, continuation bet. And queen 10 gonna check raise. Pretty slick with open and a straight draw. Ideally, you just take it down now, but sometimes you can just create a massive pot. Foxen quickly up $500,000. Not too bad. That's right. This game is really for $12 million. Confirm. And for those that are interactive, apparently there's a poll in the YouTube chat asking who do you think will win this match? On to this one. Little suit blockers for Foxen.
Would be quite telling if Ossi decided to do anything with this kind of double backdoor hand. Not mandatory against the 80K continuation bet, but just the kind of thing we'd be looking for to signify a significant adjustment. More the same for now. Patient.
Yeah. In the early goings, though, it does seem that Ossi has c-bet the flop almost every time so far from what I've seen.
Yeah, which is, I mean, a notable increase already, right, Randy? We saw almost no continuation betting. in yesterday's matches.
And you did ask me if, is Aussie going to change his strategy? I wasn't sure how to answer that because given both of these guys were actually playing the $150,000 tournament day 2.
Yeah. They both just got a few hours sleep, as far as we can tell, jumped straight into day 2 of the tournament.
And
Ran
Foxen just finished,
pretty
right?
deep. I mean, yeah, Foxen was out in 10th, 11th, just before the final table. Just a short break before jumping into this battle.
Yeah, so he just final table bubbled. But here he is, battling Monarch. Queen 6 with the check, bottom pair. Bottom pair looking quite strong when the turn is the 9.
Absolute nothing for Foxen. But maybe a door open to bluff at this pot.
Yeah, given that he's attacking with Jack 5 means he's reading into Ossi Ketola playing the same way yesterday and just checking back. A lot of hands are just going to give up.
Yeah. Foxen sizing near pot, 270,000. Pretty much claiming to have 3 of a kind when he's got it. Maybe King 10, King Jack.
Yeah, I also believe he's sizing up here to dissuade maybe some gut shots from continuing. It's a small bet, maybe some ace highs. Trying to keep it simple, and he downs the 6.
Yeah, that's a big fold and not a good sign for Aussie early on when you see pretty much pure air bluffing into you and getting you to pass not only on the best hand, but just a pretty strong hand in the range that checks back that flop.
Yeah, that's what the big sizing accomplished there for Fox. And probably expects the bottom pair to fold quite a bit if he did do his research.
Yeah.
Personally, I would love to see Ossi Ketola just get a little bit more aggressive pre-flop. Probably not with this hand, but going forward. But no, he is going to go aggressive with this hand.
Yeah, he's reaching.
Jack 10 offsuit.
Credit to him. This is one of those adjustments we called for yesterday. Totally fine hand to 3-bet with. You do clear out a lot of equity when Foxen just folds offsuit undercards.
Yeah, I think it's a really good adjustment that he should make throughout this match is just be more aggressive pre-flop because the main goal for the pros, Foxen, Limitless, is that they want to play as many single raise pots as possible where they can kind of reduce the variance quite heavily.
Yeah.
And I feel like we witnessed that earlier the other day when Limitless 3-bet a hand like 10s that's very strong, but didn't really want to put it all on the line for full stacks. So if you can just kind of create that uncomfortable situation for the pros where all of a sudden they're always playing big pots,
Yeah.
it can really maybe create some advantage somehow.
I mean, it's a fine line, isn't it? If you get too carried away, this adjustment is so obvious. If you start 3-betting every big blind, pros now understanding that you can just not only 4-bet relentlessly, but you can expect that the 3-bet's coming, start folding more buttons, basically just raise prepared for it. You don't want the adjustment to be obvious, but you want to move in that direction.
King Jack with the check back. Turns a flush draw.
No improvement for Monarch, but an all low card board that looks pretty strong for the big blind. Kind of situation we do see a lot of bluffing from the out of position player. I think it's wise not to go after with this weak of a hand, though.
Yeah, I'm going to guess he doesn't expect ace high to fold, so if he was to bluff with 10-7, he probably needs to put in 2 bets, turn plus river, assuming the wheel stuff doesn't get there. Top pair for Foxen.
Another opportunity for the 10 high to try and win this one. We can see it's not going to work this time.
He's going to try. Bye-bye, chips. Bye-bye, $125,000.
I think Foxen's going to deliberate a bit and then end up raising with this one. You want to make sure when you have a strong king here that you win as much as possible from a weaker king. Kicker plays. You expect king, queen, or ace, king to 3-bet pre-flop. I think this is going up to 400, 500K maybe.
Yeah, he's got a really strong kicker. Let's see, he does go for $450,000. It should end it here.
He says with hesitation.
Yeah, what you gonna do with 10-7 high? You tried. Try to fold out a better high card hand like jack or queen high. No shame in it. And I really want to look at the results of this poll, but apparently I need to be signed in on my app. I don't know. Somebody tell me. Can you tell me, Kevin?
Let me have a look. I'm not signed in on the official.
I don't know my
Desk
password. That's the
iPad.
problem. I can't sign in.
I'm signed in on my phone. I'll get you. First, I'm gonna have to vote.
Don't tell me your vote.
No, I would never. Isn't that illegal? Do we want to spoil the results of the poll for people in the chat? I guess everyone's voting, right?
Hurry up and tell me, man.
1,000 votes are in, 1,000 plus. They're coming in fast now that you've drawn attention to it, Randy. 77% voting for Alex Foxen. Just 23% voting for Ossi Ketola.
Well, Foxen, he's got the flush. I like that he's checking. I just feel like there's way more value in inducing a random delayed bluff from Ketola.
Yeah.
I would even check the river if it goes check on the turn. I think it's hard to get my opponent to call worse.
Yeah, the only hand you're worried about allowing to check through, well, I was going to say is a king, which might get here. You know, king X, reasonable check back twice on this texture. Also now have to worry about a 3, which would check behind.
I just think Ketola has so much random cards that are going to do a YOLO bluff. But, you know, Foxen going to try to target random pair. I mean, we have seen in the past on these 4 flush boards, Ketola calling with a pair.
Yeah.
I believe that was yesterday.
And keep in mind that Foxen also wants to keep the ability for him to bluff going, right? And once in a while, you're going to get looked up. And you want to make sure that every now and then you're showing the goods. And those times that you get looked up doesn't lead to some huge adjustment from your opponent, right?
Exactly.
If Foxen's plan is to put tons of pressure on the checking range, he's going to have to show up with value from time to time.
Foxen grind continues. He's up $1 million already. It's been, what, 10 minutes? Into the muck, 7-4 offsuit.
You think Foxen got a nap in after the 150K wrapped up, or?
How long ago did it wrap up? Was in the booth today.
Yeah, I remember, Andy. We wrapped up
2 hours ago?
2.5 hours ago,
Okay.
give or take.
No, I don't think he napped in.
It's not a lot of time.
Time to go to work, though. The ladies, mamacitas, Lady Gagas. Some trouble here for Ossi Ketola. Middle pair with the backdoor diamonds.
Trouble for a few reasons, Randy. One, he's flopped a pretty strong hand. 2, it's a board texture where I think Foxen will often size large.
$175K. That's on the large size.
Middle pair, backdoor flush draw.
Feel like you just gotta check call and see what happens.
Call definitely the standard play.
I'm sure in the back of his mind he's wondering, why did Foxen go big? This dry board.
He also might be thinking diamond, 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 diamond.
I think he's thinking 10 or 4, to be honest. The diamond wouldn't hurt. Gets neither.
Seen Ossi deliberate before checking a number of times. Seems to pretty consistently consider leads, consider the texture change.
It's not a play he makes too often, but occasionally he does opt to lead.
Yeah, we've mostly seen river leads. We saw a few river leads when like a flush completed or a straight completed, I believe. Not so much here on the turn, and wisely so. Might be able to get away from a big bet. 10-4 suited looking a lot less strong on the 7 of clubs.
So it's 400 into 600, thereabouts. A quick fold. Up 1.5 million. Now keep in mind yesterday when these two played, the first match was very quick. I believe it ended in under an hour.
Yeah.
But from what I've seen so far here today, it almost just seems like a continuation of the last match.
I mean, this is what's unique about a heads-up match, is because you're playing almost every hand, you can see that players pretty routinely are getting dealt bad hands, right? Hands that you normally wouldn't play, hands that you wouldn't rate very highly if you're thinking of an equivalent tournament spot, cash game spot, whatever game you normally play. You get thrown into the mix here, and you know, ace-4 offsuit and king-queen offsuit, well above average pre-flop holdings. If you're not comfortable putting in the extra money with something that feels marginal, then you just open the door to getting run over by an aggressive opponent.
Well, it's time to bump it up with king queen, way above average. Makes it 400K. You okay with the sizing?
It's a little small for my liking, but it's not far off. We're playing about 70 big blinds behind. I think the default against a min raise might be like 8 big blinds, 480K or so, but this, a deviation, Foxen calling the ace-4 offsuit. Maybe he felt like he was playing too tight against 3-bets yesterday.
Exactly. Didn't really expect him to call the 3-bet with ace-4 offsuit. He wasn't making these plays yesterday, but now he's flopped top pair against king queen high. 800,000 in the middle.
Seems like either small c-bet or check are the best options for Monarch's position with king-queen. And I'm not so sure that Foxen's even going to bet with this hand. When we're ahead, we're way ahead. No need for protection, right?
He is going to go small. I hear what you're saying.
I think I would have preferred a check with this hand and reserve these small bets for something more vulnerable, like pocket 5s or 9-7 suited.
Okay. I guess I agree with you because let's just say you're up against a big pocket pair. It's hard to get multiple streets against it anyways.
Yeah.
And then with ace-4, sometimes you value on yourself. But king-queen is actually check calling.
I do think this is a good check call, and maybe now is when Foxen slows down and gives Ossi the chance to improve to a second best hand. You can see he's drawing dead on the deuce of diamonds.
Of course, it's a great card for Foxen. Unlikely your opponent's 3-betting a deuce out of the big blind. Plus, you upgrade your kicker, just in case your opponent did have a slightly better kicker. Good chop. It's already 1.3 million in the pot, and it's going to be a check call lead as the 3-better.
I think Ossi believes that he has the best hand right now. This is a little bit of, let's freeze the action. You can kind of understand what's going on. You're playing someone who's been so aggressive over the last few matches. King, Queen, if you feel like you've got the winner, or at least there's some chance of it, like, let's try and set our own price instead of checking and facing 1.2 million, 1.4 million, and end up folding the best hand.
2.4 million now in the middle. River cards to 5. I mean, I kind of think he thought maybe he could bluff out some weak pocket pairs with the turn lead, potentially.
And it definitely could have had that outcome, Randy. I believe Foxen's somewhat quick call should concern Monarch and make him think that he's up against maybe a 9 or an ace. Possibility of a missed diamond draw as well.
Monarch gives up, which is great for Foxen. He didn't want to be put to the test for the last 3.4 million with just ace 4.
No, that would have been uncomfortable. Here he's just going to take his showdown. I like this too for the reason I mentioned yesterday, Randy. We get to see the showdown. This was an unusual turn play. We want to know what that was. Even if we think we have the winner on the end, I think check back, see the cards.
Has more value than trying to get called by worse, which seems so unlikely given the line.
So unlikely to get called by worse. Guarantee a little bit of information there.
Well, enjoy that $2.4 million pot, Foxen. You're very close, or at least getting close to winning this $12 million match. Ketola has 3.4 million now with Queen Jack suited.
Big hand on the button. Foxen, a 6-4 suited that
150.
makes for a reasonable 3-bet. We've seen him pretty consistently playing these passively, though.
Yeah, we haven't seen 3-bets from Foxen. I would have been very surprised if he was to deviate all of a sudden to introduce a high variance game. So onto a flop. 300K pot. Queen Jack. Not too bad.
Big,
Not much for Foxen.
yeah, it's a big flop for Monarch, and really the only way he's going to get action here is by checking behind, which, again, I wouldn't mind a check back given his image right now. But generally speaking, I think this is the board to be aggressive on, and I think betting 1/3, even smaller here, 75K, 1/4 pot. This very logical choice for Queen Jack.
Man wants to build a pot. He just lost $1.2 million last hand. Can't blame him. I'm telling you, he needs the furry coat again. That was his lucky apparel.
Did you let him know after yesterday's stream?
I should have tagged him, huh? Hey, things would be better if you're wearing that furry coat. The cozy one.
You have a lucky kit, Randy, that you like to wear when you're playing live?
It's been a while since I played live, but I'm definitely into that kind of superstition stuff. I mainly don't believe in superstitions, but you never know, the non-zero chance. Plus, I like to believe in it just to make things a little more fun.
So you fall into the camp that thinks it's a free roll to be superstitious.
Yeah, I just think it's just more fun because I can just joke around about silly things a little more.
Yeah. I feel I've heard that argument before, and I feel like that immediately loses you any value that superstition might give you. If you're actually doing it for logical reasons, it's like, no, that's not how faith works, right? If you're logically choosing faith, then you don't get the benefits.
Feng Shui is a real thing, all right? Jack 10 versus King Jack offsuit. This is the hand Ketola 3-bets at 100% frequency. Seen at least 4 or 5 3-bets of King Jack offsuit over the past few days. Here he goes again. And he's going to get a little action from Jack 10 offsuit given what we saw of Ace 4 offsuit not too long ago. Especially against the size, right? 3x?
Yeah, this is 6 big blinds. I think Jack 10 offsuit is definitely good enough to take a flop.
Let's bring this pot up to 720K. That's a good flop for King Jack.
Second nut flush draw here. Starts with a check from out of position. I don't mind this because building a pot on the flop might lead to, you know, flush over flush situation against the ace of clubs that Foxen's going to have somewhat often in a big pot. By checking, we start getting action from a pretty weak draw. And maybe if Ossi check calls and makes his flush, he gets additional action from a bluff.
So he did check, and like you mentioned, the weak draw is betting $240,000. No club in hand.
What was this? A check raise.
Check raise, sir. 700,000.
I like this.
I think Foxen didn't expect this. He was expecting Ossi to just continue with his check fold kind of strategy in general.
And that probably leads to Foxen folding the two overcards and gut shot that could have checked behind and realized a bit of equity.
Well done, sir.
That's a nice adjustment. Don't remember any flop check raises in 3-bet pots from Ossi.
No, it's mainly more check call. I mean, you just saw the last hand before this was what? Check call lead.
Yeah.
Looks like Foxen needed to step away for 1 second.
Small. Relatively small.
Hey, what beverage was
Six-figure
that
pot.
delivered? Sorry, I got distracted.
Does it have the wide straw on it? It might be a smoothie of some kind.
That wasn't a smoothie, man. It's light
No?
brown. What kind of smoothie is light brown?
I don't know.
Old bananas?
Isn't this looking like carrot juice or
No, I'm
something
talking about the
to
one
you?
on the left. The one on the right is
left.
clearly orange juice, no?
Right. Maybe like a frothy coffee kind of situation?
Frothy coffee.
Like an iced latte? Iced cappuccino.
Do you see any ice, man?
No, like it's iced in the back and then they strain it. You ever get like a
They
fancy iced latte that comes through a cocktail shaker?
Strained.
Yeah, you strain it and then it's cold, but it's not got the ice in it to water down your drink.
You sound like high maintenance to me.
I love my coffee, Randy. Don't get me started on coffee.
All right, looks like the
Nonsense,
gentlemen are
that
back.
one, I think.
Nothing wrong with being high maintenance. Come on.
Yeah, there is. Orange juice confirmed. You see it? You called that coffee.
No, that's the first drink, right? The one that was on the right.
What did you call that? Carrot juice? Does
Yeah, I
look
thought
Does that look
carrot
orange
ju-
to you?
I thought carrot juice, but you're right, it's orange juice.
Take a walk, sir. You know what I think about with these heads up sit and goes? I always dreamed of the scenario where they get to heads up in a tournament and then the two players just say, you know what, let's just take winner take all. Second place gets nothing, you know? This is kind of what we have here.
Wow.
One day someone will offer that as the deal making process.
Well, now that it's out there, I'm certainly going to be thinking about it every time I get heads up, which, you know, I do so often.
Little Jack 4 versus 9-8.
That was me exaggerating. Randy.
Yeah, I got that.
Just
Yeah.
making sure.
Didn't realize I need to entertain you on that one. But you must entertain my comments, okay?
Understood.
80K?
Wouldn't mind a little something from the 9-8 offsuit, but it's definitely on the weaker end of hands we can think about. Nothing wrong with a fold.
Would you have gone check raise or check call?
Mostly raise. It's hard to turn a hand that can keep check calling with 9-8, which is normally how I kind of sort that in my head. Like if I've got King 10 or King Jack, for example, I can turn a lot of like strong call down hands, but not so much with 9-8.
150.
Raise 150.
The jiggities. 150K?
Cool.
Gonna be tough for Foxen to pull ahead with 10-6 suited, especially on this board texture. However, the ace is a little bit worrisome for Ketola.
Yeah, only way for Foxen outside of improving on his 8% equity is to find a way to bluff at this one. Maybe a strong enough hand to float or even check raise against a small c-bet, which Ossi does come with 100,000.
And I feel like because Ossi Ketola has been c-betting a lot in this match today, this may invite Foxen to continue more. Just realizing there's a little bit more air than normal.
Yeah.
But obviously he's up against jacks. And
Raise
the
270.
c-betting strategy is working out for Ketola. He's induced a bluff raise from 10-6 suited.
I mean, you say it's working out, Randy, but that's just because he's got 92% equity. He needs to see showdown. Foxen's been relentless after check raising flop.
True that. But you got to be a little worried because Ketola bet calls ace 8-4.
Yeah.
There should be a lot of ace X in there, right?
It does look like a lot of top pairs given what Foxen knows about Ketola, and now the 8 pairs as well. So if Ossi just had second pair, he's improved to trips.
Plus, it's probably not likely Foxen would check raise an 8 on the flop.
This feels like the spot to shut it down.
And if Foxen opted to check raise an ace for some reason on the flop, he wouldn't be firing on the turn 8, so he gives up. Option now for pocket jacks.
Yeah, you're thinking small bet in position maybe to
Check.
shut out further difficulties, or just check behind like Monarch has. Kind of a way ahead, way behind situation on the turn.
I kind of feel like the king is not really a troublesome card for Ossi. Just because if Foxen was holding a king high, he's more likely to go check called and check raise. Am I wrong? Just because king high has some showdown value?
Yeah, I don't think the story would add up if Foxen was to bet here. Very difficult to represent strength, unless he goes with like a block bet to claim to have an ace. But he's going big.
Interesting. 775.
This is just pure intimidation, right? I mean, I don't think we're telling a consistent story right now. I think this is just, can you muster up the strength to call 800,000 with 2 jacks?
So nice by Foxen, downs the jacks. What a heroic bluff on that board texture. He just knew his man didn't have an ace.
That really is just like a statement of leveraging big money against
money.
perceived weakness, right?
Well said. That was almost $1 million bluff.
Raise 120. Call.
And yeah, the 10-6 suited didn't win. I was thinking the jacks would always win the spot.
Check.
This one looking like another clear c-bet and expect to take it kind of spot.
Pass.
Doesn't look like much, but that 8-7, 7 of clubs was the winner. Maybe had a chance, but it's hard. when you expect basically pure turn barrels. How do you rely on the plan of floating flop with a weak hand?
5-4 offsuit versus 8-6 suited.
I do think one adjustment that I hadn't been thinking before about Randy is that Ossi could be playing a bit tighter in the big blind. Because when you think forward to the flop and turn, oh, Foxen is routinely just bombing flop, bombing turn, lots of money's going in later.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we just start folding pre with hands like, you know, low cards, disconnected offsuit stuff, things that don't flop well very often, and thinking more ahead for, okay, I'm going to call this king high hand, and I'm never folding flop because I have king high, and that's, you know, above average.
Sure. Makes sense. It's just tough to fold your big blind when your opponent is just min-raising pre, too.
Well, he hasn't min-raised 100% of hands, but it's true. The price is good. It feels like, oh, we're going to flop enough to justify the price, but
6 is going for a value bet against 4-5, which is open-ended with bottom pair.
this is the luxury of having been so aggressive in this spot. Can go for thin value and expect to be good a reasonable amount of the time. River just goes check, check, right?
I would think 6 no kicker going for value. 4th pair, that'd be thin, but correct if he can find it.
Check.
I also do think it's a little bit dangerous to go for super thin value bets against Ossi Ketola, who has shown the propensity to come up with a raise on
True.
rivers.
I mean, no guarantee he doesn't bluff this one. Board changing river. You expect Foxen to follow through bluffs on this kind of river. So piece this together. What does the check mean? It means showdown value.
$500,000 bluff, realizing the 4. Probably won't show down as a winner.
I think this makes a lot of sense for the spot. I think Ossi correctly pieced together that he's no good at showdown. But we're not out of the woods yet. Foxen's giving it thought. He's got to decide, first of all, how thin would he be willing to bet for value here? Wow, he sniffs it out.
He's so good.
That's tough.
He's so good. He just called with 4th pair, $500,000, and wins the $1.6 million pot. I mean, how does Foxen ever get action going forward? This man's a beast.
I mean, I said before, Randy, and I know it's simplistic, but it's tough to beat someone who's as skilled as Alex if Alex is getting dealt the winner. Alex just had the better hand there, and, you know, Ossi being creative and searching for a way to take that one down, and I thought it was pretty sharp, but
Call.
you deal Foxen the better hand. He
Call.
just hand reads so well. What can you do?
I know what I do. I'd sit out, but I can't because you got to play until you have $0 in front of you, or just try and win it. Top pair though, maybe a little rebate. $80K. A swift call. Pot now 400K. That's a really nice card for Ossi because not only does he pick up the open and a straight draw from his point of view, his opponent's made 7s with the ace kicker. And 7s with the ace kicker is looking quite good as a pre-flop raiser because your opponent just check called. You can easily value bet against the 4, the 5, the 6x, right?
Check.
Yeah, I do think there's a very good chance this pot grows right now.
I think it's very likely he bets in the spot.
Foxen hasn't had to worry too much about turn check raises.
If you haven't seen turn check raises and you've put in hours of play against his opponent, why not value bet? what you perceive to be the best hand. 150 on the small side. Gets called.
Yeah, that small size, I think, designed to lose the minimum to better hands like this. Ossi's hand even better now on the river.
As weird as it may sound to you, I kind of like a lead in Aussie's shoes because he's already shown him taking the lead and bluffing not too long ago, right?
It's true. And you could think of a few hands that arrive here and make that desperation bluff. Something like 4-3 suited, 5-3 suited. Any backdoor diamond hand that hasn't improved otherwise.
That's right. And literally last hand, he just turned bottom pair into a bluff and got called. Full pot from Ossi Ketola. 700,000.
Saw Foxen observing throughout that deliberation. Eyes trained intently on Monarch. Let's see what he made of that. He's got some data points from yesterday. I mean, this is
He's out.
great decision making. Foxen's been pretty untouchable. That one a nice pickup, obviously, but Ossi was hoping for more in that pot.
Yeah, I do like the lead from Ossi Ketola. I just wish he went a little bit smaller because I remember the other day when he bombed it pretty much like pot every time. He rarely got called. His opponent
Yeah.
just says, not really worth it.
That's true, but you also have to think that Foxen knows about those hands by now and is maybe looking to call lighter today when he sees a big river lead.
From what I've seen so far, Foxen's game plan hasn't changed at all, though.
Yeah.
But Ketola clearly messing around and tinkering with new strategies. King 9. Check back. Best hand now for Alex Foxen. Obviously, one of the downsides of having a flop-heavy check-back strategy is you allow your opponents to see 4 cards, and they often would just see 3. 2/3 pot is the price. Called by King 9. Jack 8 still best.
I think it's close between continuing to bet or checking.
He's going to lean towards betting.
Bet 425.
425.
It's like you said earlier, Randy, thin value is a little concerning. 1, because you've been getting lots of folds, but 2, you've faced river raises in the past, and this hand just has no good qualities to defend against a raise. And it feels like those are the only 2 outcomes we might see from Ossi with King 9, 9 of spades. Either fold and give up or bluff raise.
No bluff raise this time. But this time also means another pot for Alex Foxen. $9.4 million in the stack. Start the session with $6 million in front of him.
Raise 120.
The Robbie versus the King 4.
Nobody hits the flop. Have to give the edge to Foxen again. In position with the option to c-bet.
Hasn't Foxen c-bet like every single flop when he's whiffed?
Bet 120.
Like, am I wrong? It seems like it's near 100%
Yeah.
as bluff when he's doesn't have anything.
I haven't seen a weak hand check back, I don't believe.
So what that entails to me is that he believes the frequency at which Monarch continues is very low, right? Like he's
Yeah.
check folding some gut shots like we've seen. He's check folding back doors. And he's not getting check raised enough.
I was going to say check raise is like the only concern if we bet literally all of our hands on the flop is, well, I don't want to face a check raise when I'm in the middle of my range, but even if you get check raised and you had a pure air ball on the flop, it's not that bad of an outcome. You took your shot, you folded the check raise, move on to the next.
He's king 4 mono.
Check.
4 to a flush now. Does that open the door for Foxen to steal another pot?
I know it just feels like the bet is coming at some point, whether it's now on the turn or delayed to the river. Foxen has checked it over.
He might stab though if this checks through. First though, we gotta ask, is Ketola gonna stab? Does not.
Saw a somewhat sizable bet from the 7 high flush on the last 4 to a flush board.
Bet 450.
Here an overbet.
1.5x.
Again, just feels like targeting what we'd like to get to fold, right? This one aiming even higher. It's like, I need a king to fold, I think, to feel good about this bluff. So here's 1.5x. That should get the job done.
Foxen is just running over Monarch at the moment. He seems even stronger than yesterday.
Raise 120.
Man on a mission. And that mission is $12 million. Return to the bankroll. Queen 7 versus ace deuce suited.
Check.
Once again, Foxen air, C betting. 65K.
Call.
Ace high making a check call. A gut shot now for Foxen. Potentially a spot where he double barrels.
Check.
Once again,
Bet 420.
bets again, 420.
Pass.
He's just steamrolling. Just shy of $10 million now in the stack.
So hard to deal with, and for big numbers. I mean, I think you asked before match 1, Randy, yesterday when they were playing for 2 million each, how's Foxen going to handle the size of these stakes? Got our answer.
You know it.
It's navigating
150.
Raise 100.
6 and 7 figure pots with ease.
Foxen, king 5 offsuit.
Call.
Makes a call.
Check. 175.
Also going to see bet queen 3 offsuit.
I think we're going to see the first pot in a little while headed Monarch's way.
You want a bot? It's possible.
All you got to do is have Foxen flop nothing and make a sizable c-bet.
That's right. Lucky juice.
Raise 120. 4.
Gonna be ace 8 of clubs versus king deuce. Ketola's got the king of hearts.
Check.
Might be enough to continue.
Definitely from my point of view, Randy. Either check call or check raise
Right.
against what looks like the minimum, 60K.
Only problem is Foxen's the type of guy who's been double barreling so much.
I mean, at some point, you do just have to look at a hand this strong and think, yeah, I guess I'm just going to call a couple streets. Yes, there's a chance that Foxen value bets a 6. Got a little easier on the king of spades.
He's definitely calling a couple of streets if it does come in. I suppose will be rare for ace 8 to want to bet this turn.
Yeah, bluffing with ace 8 would indicate that Foxen expects a 6x hand to fold frequently. Oh,
Reverse to ace.
just,
Bing bong.
it feels unfair. A little bit of life for Monarch on the king. Thought a decent sized pot would be headed his way.
Check.
Now an opportunity for Foxen to go for value. And I don't know how you avoid paying him off.
Especially when you've seen Foxen just bet, bet, bet. We don't know what he's doing it with. We know it's been a lot of bluffs and well-timed value bets.
Bet 250.
250. $250,000. And he's going to see how unlucky he is.
You win.
You win. Confirmed. Ossi Ketola.
250.
1.8 million. That means that Foxen's got 10.2 million in front of him.
This happened so quick, Randy.
Hasn't even been an hour of play yet. I mean, I'm looking at that hoodie. He's been getting milked.
$150.
Raise 150.
Ketola raises the sixes.
Oh.
Foxen's played a 0% 3-bet strategy. And he's crushing. Gut shot now for Foxen. Is he going to find a way to win this hand too?
Once again, it feels like it'll be hard, but even if Ossi c-bets here, 7-4 suited, strong enough to continue against 1/3. Let's see if that's the option on offer.
Bet 125.
$1.25.
Little juicer.
Oh.
Foxen is going to stick around.
Gonna float the gut shot.
Check.
The king's the type of card where Ossi is likely to just check, I would think.
Yeah, Foxen very much going to check call a lot of king high.
Foxen makes the best hand with the pair of 7s against 6s. Pipped.
That's going to be so frustrating, assuming that it sees showdown. I did feel like maybe the play on the river was small bet if Foxen came up empty and wanted to bluff. Try and represent a king. Now he's got 3rd pair. Needs to figure out if it's strong enough to go for value.
Oh, he's gonna try to milk a little bit more value.
I think he gets paid for 75K. Looks like it could be a 5.
Oh.
7.
7 is good.
7 is good. A 7 for 700,000.
70 pound, right?
Yeah.
Must be nice,
got it.
Foxen.
Okay.
I don't know if Ketola can turn this one around. Just nothing going his way. No momentum, cards, no stack. And the thing is, it's not like Foxen doesn't get better as the match goes on. He doesn't stay static. He improves, he adjusts. This is a man that's very difficult to beat, even for the best players out there. Can we fight back? Queen 7 offsuit. Do like that he's attacking, and mainly because Foxen's been raising a lot of buttons. It just seems
Yeah,
like if he had a good hand, he probably would just keep raising, not all of a sudden limp. So
I agree. That's a classic dynamic, right? The first limp,
old school.
always weak.
I like it.
The first 4-bet, always a bluff.
I remember that one. We got to make new moves.
That was the playbook back in the day.
There's a new playbook. You just don't know what it is yet. Is to just keep martingale the stakes until you happen to win one. Jack 10 versus Queen 4 suited. So your Jack and a 10. Top 2 pair. Maybe a little potential for Foxen.
Backdoor straight draw, 3 to a flush.
A check back with top 2 pair. And that's going to give 3 to a flush, 4 to a flush.
I like this check back from Ossi. It's like we spoke about before, Randy, the opportunity to face a turn bet and then maybe even raise later. It's consistent with how he's bluffed in the past. And it's the most reliable way to get a lot of money into the pot. Foxen's overbetting.
Yeah, he's basically attacking a very weak-ish perceived range during the checkbacks. Expecting his opponent to overfold with pairs. But this isn't pairless, this is 2 pair. Makes the call here.
Oh,
The
come on.
Diamond for Alex Foxen. Monarch can't win a pot.
This is truly unfair, Randy. I mean, I was going to say earlier, like, the speed at which Foxen has accumulated this chips, mostly thanks to the fact that Monarch had yet to make top pair or better at the river. Now has top 2. Checks back the flop when Foxen has nothing more than a backdoor. And he can't hold in a big pot.
How much you gonna lose, Monarch?
475.
475,000. That's full pot. How can he ever fold?
I mean, the only reason not to snap call here is to think if we can raise for value.
Don't do it, Ketola.
Does feel unlikely that, given the way this match has gone, Foxen would size this large with something less than a straight. Oh, wow.
What a fold from top 2 pair. How did he fold that with everything?
Ossi found door number 3.
How?
I was convinced it was call or raise, Randy. He's just folded top 2 after checking the flop.
To be able to make folds like that when you're just losing pot after pot goes to show that he hasn't lost his composure.
It's a
He's
good
going to
point.
fight with 1.3 million.
Cool.
Remember yesterday, he folded the trip 4s with the queen kicker against trip 4's ace kicker.
It's true.
Maybe Ketola's got to tell on Foxen. Maybe. Probably not, but you never know.
I mean, 2 of the biggest coolers that we've seen he's gotten away from.
Some kind of bet size tell, maybe. Who knows? But Fox is going to keep leaning as long as you win these small pots. It won't matter. King 7 going to make the call. 2 overs to the 6. Ten of spades.
Feels quite greedy to bet turn with 9-6, 6 of spades. Don't think we expect to get called by a 3 on the turn. Foxen just convinced he's got the winner, though. He'll clear out 14% equity, assuming that Monarch folds the King 7.
He just knows. He's got the best hand. Very cool. I suppose not only can you maybe get called by worse, you also set the price on seeing a showdown unimproved. Sometimes you check here and your opponent goes for an overbet. You're like, oh man, do I really want to pay off an overbet?
Right.
And you end up folding.
That was the idea with the ace-7 earlier when Ossi had 9-6 suited. Didn't work out that time because Ossi completed his straight, but
The ladies for Foxen.
under 20 big blinds effective here. We haven't seen anything like this from Monarch yet, but even 3-betting this hand is kind of reasonable. He does just flat. Would have been disastrous here.
He's got $1 million left, and he's got top pair.
Okay, I guess it wouldn't have been disastrous. He would have flopped top pair and probably gotten the full double, but...
To be honest, is he re-raising and calling off King 6 offsuit, though? I don't know.
Oh, I was rooting for the jam. 20 big blinds, King 6-0.
You know.
Go for it.
You're nuts. Different than my...
First check back from Foxen, he's got queens on a king high board. You like it?
Yeah. I've just noticed the club he picked up that's given him so many outs against the king.
You're nervous, aren't you, Randy?
I am nervous. All right,
Foxen
dealer.
might win another.
Club it. Okay. Not quite the club. That's a spade.
But Foxen just doing extremely well to, I would think, lose the minimum. But I think Ossi will recognize once Foxen checks through on the ace, it's pretty likely this King 6 is the best hand.
Let's throw out something to get called.
200.
200 into 240. It's not small.
No, this is appropriate for the spot. He's going to get snapped.
King.
Up to 1.5 million for Monarch. Hope you guys are enjoying the stream. Randy Liu, Kevin Rabichow in the booth. And if you are, just let us know. Thumbs up, subscribe,
150.
whatever it's called these days.
Show some love to the YouTube channel.
Doesn't cost you a penny, just a click of the finger. King high texture. Our pre-flop raiser is Ossi Ketola. $1.50. Well, not quite $1.50, but you know what I mean.
Shout out to our Triton mod in the chat as well.
Oh, there's a mod in there.
Doing a great job responding, yes, this is for real money. About 17 times a minute.
Glad I didn't have to answer that
Because
17
to all
times.
the new viewers, I know it's hard to believe, but we're playing a $12 million heads up, sit and go.
Yeah, and the blinds are 3 WSOP main events, small blind, and 6 WSOP main events, big blind.
And first prize is the biggest WSOP main event first prize
It's more than what the grinder won.
of all time. Minus $1.
200K.
I say we're playing as if Randy and I are playing. Ossi Ketola and Alex Foxen are playing a $12 million heads up, sit and go. They're out there on the stage. And this is round 1 for tonight.
We're not playing? I was ready to play after this match.
I
I
did.
thought you said you were going to buy 100% of my action.
I did.
You backing out, buddy? After my stories about my heads up experience?
Started to feel like you were up to no good when you offered me 100%.
8-4 versus 6-3, and a lot of interaction. Got shot. Both players with backdoor flush draws. Middle pair to best hand. $60K for both players. Foxen picks up a club draw. I'm getting the feeling he's going to come in with overbet on this card that overcards the board that gives him that added equity.
Yeah, it's very hard for Ossi to have a jack in this situation. Mostly you're going to check fold the flop with jack high.
Coupled with the information that Aussie's been folding middle pairs against big sizes, it would make a lot of sense. He went full pot instead of overbet, but still a healthy bet was expected.
And Alex can do this for value with basically any 7 or better. So 6-3 suited, a pure bluff catcher, but we just haven't seen enough of those pure bluff catchers actually make the call to discourage Foxen from doing what he's doing.
I almost feel like he needs to call at some point, maybe earlier in the match, where if you show down that you're calling down, you know, light enough, you can still have that perceived image and then maybe deviate a little bit and overfold later.
Yeah, that's a good way to do it, Randy. I like that idea. Reminds me of like an old tactic I learned from A.E. Jones, throwback to Aaron Jones from anyone who's playing poker 20 years ago, that was basically like 3-bet within the first orbit with some trashy hand and then find a way to show it down so that that information just makes its way to the table. And now you're getting action for the next little while, right? Same idea. Make a big call down, show that to Alex. Now you're not getting bluffed for the next little while.
I realize all the suggestions I've been making have been from the old school playbook.
I mean, Randy, you know that you are old school, right?
I am dated. Feels bad. A little gut shot for Ossi Ketola.
Open-ended now.
Yeah, but it's the bad end of the straight draw. You don't really want to chase that for big sizes.
250 was too much.
Jack falls, your opponent has a queen, lose more.
Can't always imagine the worst case scenario.
Yeah, we can.
Foxen only gets dealt 2 cards, you know.
Worst case scenario right now is kind of being at play for Monarch. Lose every pot.
This is where we need that stat tracker. Randy, I would love just like throw up on the board last 10 pots like we're tracking the Baccarat run or the...
Right, the circles.
What's your degen of choice?
Kings now for Foxen. That's a premium, isn't it? It's a limp from Ossi Ketola. Something he hasn't really employed.
I think this is only the 2nd time we've seen Ossi limp. Obviously need to raise the 2 kings.
175K.
think it would be a little too cheeky for Alex to show the kings and be like, I've just had it every time.
I,
You don't think he can sell that story right now?
I think he knows his customer. It's not in the mood at the moment.
It's true. It is a little bit unsportsmanlike to. Maybe if it was done earlier. This
All in, 1.24 million, 8-7 offsuit.
I like this from Ossi. It seems appropriate for the hand strength. King 9 suited is close.
Call and end it here, maybe?
It feels like a spot maybe we pass, just thinking there's been a reliable source of edge elsewhere. But just by the chip counts, fairly big fold for 20 big blinds after having raised.
Right, makes sense. Don't buy the meme coin. Just stick to the dividends.
Thanks, 120.
8-5 of clubs. Getting a little action from Foxen. Ketola in a fortunate spot to have top pair. And his opponent having enough of a piece to pay off at least one bet.
$75.
75 plus.
Relatively cheap price for a pair of sixes. Three
Oh.
of diamonds, giving Alex Foxen 2 pair. And it actually gives Ketola a little gut shot. Round of checks.
Fortunate to have checked behind. 8-5 suited, pretty strong on this board still in spite of the 3 diamonds. Now seems like pot or smaller is likely coming from Foxen, and Ossi might even be able to get away.
Well, Foxen unblocks the 8, so it does make sense to go for a sizable bet. And 8's a big part of your opponent's range that can call bet. Of course, the river 10 maybe too. Full pot. Can Ketola make another big fold? And be right once again.
Two pair. You win.
You win. I feel like Ketola said that quite a bit. Pays it off. He only has 765,000 remaining, Kevin. Less than $1 million.
It's going to be tough to climb out of this hole. Other than a second round with
Yeah.
fresh stacks.
He's got 6% of the chips in play, roughly. He's got a queen 10 offsuit. Just push it in, close your eyes. Why not? The only pots Ketola wins is 1 or 2 big blinds.
I like the limp. Queen 5 offsuit. Sometimes a hand. Hope everyone's okay. Sometimes a hand that can move all in for this short of a stack against a limp, but Foxen content.
It is pair versus pair. Unlikely the kicker will play. An ace queen 10 texture. King on the turn.
Check.
You want to scoop this one, you're going to need a pair. The dangler. They do not.
Check.
I like this third check from Foxen.
And check.
Just kind of hoping to run into undercards.
Chop.
As it stands, chop it up.
Break even. There you go.
I like this open jam from Foxen. Pretty vulnerable king 10. Don't expect too much action to go in if we limp or min raise, so forces out the jack 7.
Go off the 8x.
Four, 60.
Comes in with 60K. And look at Foxen. 8-7 offsuit. Good luck limping against me, sir.
I like that jam. Having two connected cards makes it a little more likely that Ossi's got like the jack 3, 10 deuce kind of stuff.
Four, 60.
That would presumably limp and fold.
So Brunson's gonna limp. Both player with nothing. I feel like one of these nothing is gonna bet. Here we go. For Doyle. It's the winner. Don't give up hope, Ossi. One double. You got a little bit more firepower. But he's got Jack 7 offsuit. And
Oh
he's
boy.
going to push it in. And he's going to get called by Queen Jack. Is there a miracle that can save Ketola here? Or is he going to be down $6 million from this match? A 7 from heaven. Is it lingering? Well, he hit the 7. The problem is his opponents hit the queen. 2 outs. One more chance, Kevin, or it's over. The 7 from heaven.
6.
I'm gonna win this.
45.
I am going to win, he says. Is there a shooting star around? Has he made a wish? Can he come back from this?
You wonk it right back.
That seems reasonable.
You know it's always coming 7, Randy.
Locked up a win already.
Hey, Foxen, you want to buy out?
No deal.
Sorry.
No worries.
Ace 9 suited versus 10-9 off.
Sleep here.
Raise. 100.
The grind continues. Foxen with the best of it. And a check back. That's a deviation for Foxen.
Ace-9 feeling very showdownable, right? Even if you think that Monarch's overfolding, that doesn't mean he's folding a pair on 7-4 deuce.
80.
Foxen now going to do the betting. He picks up the flush draw.
Yeah, this effectively for value. We just think we have the best hand, and in case Ossi has a weak pair, we've got backup. Don't mind building a pot for the times we river a flush.
And it also seems like he's just folding out more equity than normal. Ossi with Jack 8 offsuit. Makes it 150K. 2.5x.
I know Foxen hasn't been 3-betting much, but it does feel like an opportunity here maybe to jam and try to pick up this oversized raise, 150 off of just 1.1 million.
You say he hasn't 3-bet much. He hasn't 3-bet at all. Which yields 10, 9, 3, 2 diamonds. Open-ended straight draw versus the pair of nines, king kicker.
Couple of big hands for this stack depth.
100.
Back. 100.
Although I'd be surprised if Foxen was going to press the action on the flop. Often just get it in against a 10 or better.
100K. Flicks in the call.
Back. 150.
150K lead.
3 pairs. Foxen doesn't believe that Ossi has a 3. Remember the 150K pre-flop raise. It is hard to have a 3.
There's the call.
Ooh, and the ace. Likely check now for Foxen.
Check.
Definitely a real threat that Ossi has an ace.
Just 800,000 in the middle. Ossi just has jack high. Can he represent the ace credibly?
The only reason he wouldn't be able to represent it is
40.
He's trying.
the amount of action that went in on flop and turn. Ossi bet the flop, which he wouldn't do with every ace high. He called the turn. You'd think that needs to be a draw of some kind.
Can Foxen find a call and end this match and get $12 million back? Here. Got the bluff catcher. The best hand.
It's a pretty good quality bluff catcher. The fact that Foxen's thought this long about it already, I think he gives Ossi credit for pulling the trigger. It's just a question of how often he arrives here empty. Even if he had like queen jack high, he probably shows it down, right?
Gonna be another time bank by Alex Foxen.
Foxen doesn't want to let Monarch back into this match lightly. If he calls and he's wrong, he's up to 2.5 million.
He makes the call.
Nice one.
Ossi Ketola. bluffs it off. He's down $6 million.
Take 1 minute to talk
Okay.
about rematch, maybe. What time is it?
And you already heard it. Discussions of a rematch. To ensue. Welcome back to the booth. Randy Lou alongside Kevin Rabichow. Foxen's done it again.
That
$12
was
million match goes to him.
that was fast, Randy. I mean, there was a period of time there where we thought it was just going to be over in a matter of minutes. Obviously, Ossi had that brief comeback after the full double, 7 from heaven on the river, but I mean, just immediately Foxen returns to form and finds the right call. It seemed like you thought, Randy, that Foxen was pretty consistent, picking things up from where he left off yesterday.
Yeah, and it quite literally was just a bloodbath. Like, he won every single pot. The cards were going his way. You know, it was very hard to beat an opponent who is playing good and running good. You know, and I
Yeah.
don't really recall a big pot Ketola won besides him rivering the Jack 7 against the Queen Jack.
I mean, to Ossi's credit, a couple of big pots that could have gone Foxen's way faster, he found a fold with the worst hand. So within the strategy that he's been playing, that's the most redeeming part, right? When Foxen gets dealt strong hands, Ossi has been able to limit the damage, but he's having a hard time extracting value, and he's having a hard time catching bluffs.
Well, we do have news for you. There will be another match. The only problem is it will start in 10 minutes, so go get some coffee, some juice, orange juice, whatever tea you need, and we'll see you back in 10 minutes. Average makes it 400K. You okay with the sizing?
It's a little small for my liking, but it's not far off. We're playing about 70 big blinds behind. I think the default against a min raise might be like 8 big blinds, 480K or so, but this, a deviation, Foxen calling the ace-4 offsuit. Maybe he felt like he was playing too tight against 3-bets yesterday.
Exactly. Didn't really expect him to call the 3-bet with ace-4 offsuit. He wasn't making these plays yesterday, but now he's flopped top pair against king, queen, high. 800,000 in the middle.
Seems like either small c-bet or check are the best options for Monarch's position with king-queen. And I'm not so sure that Foxen's even going to bet with this hand. When we're ahead, we're way ahead. No need for protection, right?
He is going to go small. I hear what you're saying.
I think I would have preferred a check with this hand and reserve these small bets for something more vulnerable like pocket 5s or 9-7 suited.
Okay. I guess I agree with you because let's just say you're up against a big pocket pair. It's hard to get multiple streets against it anyways.
Yeah.
And then with ace-4, sometimes you value on yourself. But king-queen is actually check calling.
I do think this is a good check call, and maybe now is when Foxen slows down and gives Ossi the chance to improve to a second best hand. You can see he's drawing dead on the deuce of diamonds.
Of course, it's a great card for Foxen. Unlikely your opponent's 3-betting a deuce out of the big blind. Plus, you upgrade your kicker, just in case your opponent did have a slightly better kicker. Good chop. It's already 1.3 million in the pot, and it's going to be a check call lead as the 3-better.
I think Ossi believes that he has the best hand right now. This is a little bit of, you know, let's freeze the action. You can kind of understand what's going on. You're playing someone who's been so aggressive over the last few matches. King, queen, if you feel like you've got the winner, or at least there's some chance of it, like let's try and set our own price instead of checking and facing 1.2 million, 1.4 million and end up folding the best hand.
2.4 million now in the middle. River cards to 5. I mean, I kind of think he thought maybe he could bluff out some weak pocket pairs with the turn lead, potentially.
And it definitely could have had that outcome, Randy. I believe Foxen's somewhat quick call should concern Monarch and make him think that he's up against maybe a 9 or an ace. Possibility of a missed diamond draw as well.
Monarch gives up, which is great for Foxen. He didn't want to be put to the test for the last 3.4 million with just ace 4.
No, that would have been uncomfortable. Here he's just going to take his showdown. I like this too for the reason I mentioned yesterday, Randy. We get to see the showdown. This was an unusual turn play. We want to know what that was. Even if we think we have the winner on the end, I think check back, see the cards.
Has more value than trying to get called by worse, which seems so
Sort that in my head. Like if I've got King 10 or King Jack, for example, I can turn a lot of like strong call down hands, but not so much with 9-8.
150.
Raise 150.
the jiggities. 150K.
Well,
Gonna be tough for Foxen to pull ahead of 10-6 suited, especially on this board texture. However, the ace is a little bit worrisome for Ketola.
Yeah, only way for Foxen outside of improving on his 8% equity is to find a way to bluff at this one. Maybe a strong enough hand to float or even check raise against a small c-bet, which Ossi does come with 100,000.
And I feel like because Ossi Ketola has been c-betting a lot in this match today, this may invite Foxen to continue more. Just realizing there's a little bit more air than normal.
Yeah.
But obviously he's up against jacks. And
raise
the
270.
c-betting strategy is working out for Ketola. He's induced a bluff raise from 10-6 suited.
I mean, you say it's working out, Randy, but that's just because he's got 92% equity. He needs to see showdown. Foxen's been relentless after check raising flop.
True that. But you got to be a little worried because Ketola bet calls ace 8-4.
Yeah.
There should be a lot of ace X in there, right?
It does look like a lot of top pairs given what Foxen knows about Ketola, and now the 8 pairs as well. So if Ossi just had second pair, he's improved to trips.
Plus, it's probably not likely Foxen would check raise an 8 on the flop.
This feels like the spot to shut it down.
And if Foxen opted to check raise an ace for some reason on the flop, he wouldn't be firing on the turn 8, so he gives up. Option now for pocket jacks.
Yeah, you're thinking small bet in position maybe to
Check.
shut out further difficulties, or just check behind like Monarch has. Kind of a way ahead, way behind situation on the turn.
I kind of feel like the king is not really a troublesome card for Ossi. Just because if Foxen was holding a king high, he's more likely to go check call than check raise. Am I wrong? Just because king high has some showdown value?
Yeah, I don't think the story would add up if Foxen was to bet here. Very difficult to represent strength unless he goes with like a block bet to claim to have an ace. But he's going big.
Interesting. 775.
This is just pure intimidation, right? I mean, I don't think we're telling a consistent story right now. I think this is just, can you muster up the strength to call 800,000 with 2 jacks?
So nice by Foxen, downs the jacks. What a heroic bluff on that board texture. He just knew his man didn't have an ace.
That really is just like, I mean, I said before, Randy, and I know it's simplistic, but it's tough to beat someone who's as skilled as Alex if Alex is getting dealt the winner.
Raise.
Alex just had the better hand there, and, you know, Ossi being creative and searching for a way to take that one down, and I thought it was pretty sharp, but
Call.
you deal Foxen the better hand. He
Call.
just hand reads so well. What can you do?
I know what I do. I'd sit out, but I can't because you got to play until you have $0 in front of you, or just try and win it. Top pair though, maybe a little rebate.
Bet 80.
80K. a swift call. Pot now 400K. That's a really nice card for Ossi because not only does he pick up the open and a straight draw from his point of view, his opponent's made sevens with the ace kicker. And sevens with the ace kicker is looking quite good as a pre-flop raiser because your opponent just check called. You can easily value bet against the 4, the 5, the 6x, right?
Check.
Yeah, I do think there's a very good chance this pot grows right now.
I think it's very likely he bets in the spot.
Foxen hasn't had to worry too much about turn check raises.
If you haven't seen turn check raises and you've put in hours of play against his opponent, why not value bet what you perceive to be the best hand? 150 on the small side. Gets called.
Yeah, that small size, I think, designed to lose the minimum to better hands like this. Ossi's hand even better now on the river.
As weird as it may sound to you, I kind of like a lead in Ossi's shoes because he's already shown him taking the lead and bluffing not too long ago, right?
It's true. And you could think of a few hands that arrive here and make that desperation bluff. Something like 4-3 suited, 5-3 suited. Any backdoor diamond hand that hasn't improved otherwise.
That's right. And literally last hand, he just turned bottom pair into a bluff and got called. Full pot from Ossi Ketola. 700,000.
Saw Foxen observing throughout that deliberation. Eyes trained intently on Monarch. Let's see what he made of that. He's got some data points from yesterday. I mean, this is
He's out.
great decision making. Foxen's been pretty untouchable.
Use is very low, right? Like he's
Yeah.
seen. He's check folding back doors. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to more coverage of these legendary $1 million matches, and more specifically, it was a $12 million match that just took place. Monarch didn't win that one, was struggling quite a bit against Alex Foxen. I don't know, man. What's going to happen in this next match?
Well, we know one thing that's going to happen. The stakes are staying the same.
Okay, so a proper martingale is actually to do the same exact bets that you lost. So he did 6 million. He lost that. And you do another 6 million to try to break even. See, the other day he went with 2 million to 5. That's a little different, right? He's trying to squeeze a little profit into that one. But yeah, here we are. Going to be another rematch between these two. And what about some adjustments do you feel like Ketola should make?
I was thinking about that, Randy, on the break, and pre-flop feels like the area to focus on. Right now, we're seeing Foxen pretty comfortably avoiding 3-betting, not needing to build pots, and the biggest pre-flop pots when Foxen's out of position tend to be dictated by Ossi's open size, right? So if he's going 120 to 150K, big blind 60K, Foxen gets to manage that a little easier. I wouldn't mind seeing him bump it up, start raising to 180 even, or just raising 100% of the time on the button. And then when he's out of position, just more 3-bet aggression. We talked about that before as well.
Yeah, I remember the 3-bet aggression being very effective against both Alex Foxen and Limitless. You know,
Yeah.
they weren't looking to call 3-bets. However, today we did see Foxen call 2 3-bets, Ace-4 offsuit being one of them, Jack-10 offsuit as well. But it seems the stage has been set. Shall we send it down?
Let's do it, Randy.
$12 million rematch. It's underway. Foxen up $6 million today. Yesterday, he's up $3 million. He's only up $9 million, Kevin. He needs to win this match so he can be in the
I'm sorry, why did you say only,
The
Randy?
he needs to get to 8 figures in winnings in one for his past 2 days.
Are you suggesting that Foxen's going to be disappointed somehow with a less than $15 million win in 2 days?
Yeah, because he wants to win at least 10 million. He's only at 9.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's room for improvement. What can I say?
I follow. Just wanted everyone to be on the same page.
Ossi Ketola, ace 10 suited.
Perfect opportunity to get things started with aggression. Pretty strong value hand and heads up.
$480.
480K. 4x 3-bet, given to deep stacks.
9-8 offsuit not necessary to defend, I don't believe. Especially if we're trying to manage pot sizes as Foxen.
I would have been very surprised if Foxen took a flop.
Shaw in the chat makes an excellent point. Foxen's actually up 9.3 million because he cashed the 150K today.
Oh. Congratulations, Foxen. You got some change. 300K in change. 9-8 offsuit, dealt again to Foxen. Ace 9 high. Checks it. And the queen on the turn.
Ace-9 showdownable, but
Is he
If
going to
thing-
get to show it down?
if things continue the way they've gone, it's going to cost a little extra to see showdown.
250K. Foxen is just relentless. Whenever he sees his opponent check back the flop, he just almost auto fires the turn blindly.
And if that's the case, Ace-9 has a case for just calling here and calling basically any river.
Oh, look at this adjustment from Ossi Ketola.
I like this.
And he calls with ace high, the gut shot. Was giving up pairs before.
We haven't seen Foxen insistent on following through when the board blanks like this.
He also hasn't had the opportunity to do so either, given that Ossi has been folding a lot of turns.
I would be tempted, though, as Foxen to keep firing because we even lose to hands like Jack High that have an open ender on the turn, or maybe a 9 high spade draw that we chop with.
Oh, Foxen, 650,000. Just pressing on Ketola. I don't see how Ketola can call, can he? Ace high?
He absolutely can. We just haven't seen it yet. Monarch needs to find some of these calls if he wants to have a chance in this round 2.
But it was a really big turn bet. How does my opponent have a queen?
That's a great question, Randy.
Unless it's like queen jack?
You win.
Wow, Ossi Ketola calls of ace 9. The martingale run. Gonna be real here.
That's an important call, Randy. And almost exactly what we called for was like make a statement early, right? If you're gonna bluff catch, do it early in the match, show it down. You're either correct and you scoop $1 million, or you're incorrect and you're telling Foxen the story that I'm gonna be tougher to bluff this time around.
There you go. Already clawed back $1 million. I'm a little curious to see if Foxen will bet king high in this spot.
Yeah, there's an argument on a paired board like this to just deny equity, right? Even if we have the best hand with king high, it's kind of a nice outcome to get the 9-6 to fold.
I've seen Foxen deny a lot of equity. Denies the 9-6. I'm very pumped about this match after that call. I think this one's going to be a nice slugfest between the two. Like you mentioned, make that statement.
Could hear the commotion at the other feature table that we're not covering. There is a tournament happening across the room. 50K Turbo, Bounty Quattro. Looks like there's 4 left over there. Is that right?
You're grinding the Triton Poker Plus app right now?
Yeah, why not?
Even this hand is immediately interesting for me. Ossi Ketola limping ace-3 offsuit with very deep stacks. And then Foxen coming with the raise, king 10 off. It's 8-7-4. Not supposed to hit Foxen. But he's gonna try. If you think your opponent's overfolding, why not sprinkle in a little bit of chips?
It's going to be tough in position, even to see showdown with ace-3 high.
Ossi is a tough customer, but his opponent has picked up excuses to consider a double barrel open in the straight draw now for Foxen.
Yeah, it feels like a hand that's too strong not to keep bluffing. I mean, King of Spades working, 10 for the open-ender. We expect the pairs that we can make fold on the turn are the ones that don't connect with the board, right? Something like Queen 7 suited or Ace 4. And if those hands are folding, certainly Ace 3 is going to hit the muck.
475 is the bet from Foxen. Also nice to 9 overcards the board. Give your opponent more excuses to fold. Well done. A little clawback.
I was mistaken, by the way, Randy. 6 left in that outer tournament, but I think it's going to be over pretty quick. 12 big blind average. I'm just gambling over there.
You a news reporter on the side? Let us know how that Bounty Quattro goes when it gets a little deeper.
Sorry, I know you're no longer interested in 50K tournaments, Randy. Big blind 60K here.
No.
I understand. We got big stakes on offer.
No disrespect to the 50K Bounty Quattro, but yeah, it's not really piquing my interest at the moment when I've got Monarch trying to battle the very best poker pros for millions of dollars. If you like, you can also tell me who bubbled that tournament. I'm kidding, please do not. Look at Jack Deuce offsuit.
Yeah,
In
I'm
there.
sensing this as an adjustment from Foxen. Not that he
Flop's the best hand, but go on.
knew that he was guaranteed to outflop. I mean, the way he's been running, he might just be feeling himself a little bit, but also this expectation that if we're getting flop check check and then great turn bluff handed to us, let's just start defending wider, put ourselves in that spot more often, try to generate more money from it.
Pairs the ace, which is actually a really nice card for Foxen. Can safely value bet. Also, his kicker has been improved to the 9 in case he had kicker issues. $100,000. Single black chip in there.
Diamonds complete. No players with a flush, but both players with 1 diamond. Maybe an excuse for another small bet if we're Foxen.
I see no reason to slow down. Let's get value from 9x. In this case, 2 8s.
Does feel like a hand we can fold the 2/8 in general, but I also get the sense that right now, the way that Foxen's playing, we could just close our eyes and call any river and probably expect to win. Not the case this time, of course.
Nice fold, pocket 8s. Nice fold. Well, chat, it is early in the second match. What do you guys think? Foxen going to win once again and be up 12 million today? Or is Ossi Ketola going to successfully martingale and be even for today? Best hand for Monarch. Oh, and he turns the jack. Nothing has changed, has it, for Foxen?
No, the sun run continues. Scenarios where Monarch makes a pretty decent hand and is probably going to feel obligated either to bet for value or to check call this turn.
Oh, Ketola's going to bet.
I like this. We don't expect a lot of Jack X in Foxen's range. Number of Jack highs would bluff the flop. King Jack, Ace Jack, the primary ways for Foxen to have the winner here. Let's see if he raises now or if he wants to allow Ossi to bet the river himself.
Getting raising vibes from Foxen. 400K. That's disappointing for a pair of fours.
Yeah, and I think Foxen more intent on getting value from a pair with a draw than this kind of hand. I doubt he's relying on 7-4 suited calling this raise.
Right, he's just trying to get the max out of pair straight draw, good flush draws.
Or a weaker jack.
Of course, plenty of weaker jacks. Confirm 3 a.m. here in Jeju. Could be plenty of more action because I believe we finished yesterday around 7:30 or 8 a.m. The day before that, closer to 9 a.m. I hope you guys are enjoying the show. 4 clubs. And 2 more on the flop. This is a powerhouse for Ketola. A way to really just swing this match in your favor.
Yeah, cooler opportunity developing. Foxen just flatting pre-flop with the Jack 10 suited, sticking to his plan of keeping pot small out of position. But post-flop, he hasn't been quite as committed to that. We've seen lots of flop check raising, Randy.
Let's see if he check raises here, because if he does, we know King 6 of clubs is going nowhere with the pair and flush draw. 3 whites, though, equates to a call. That turn card is very spicy. Foxen picks up an open ender with his flush draw. Pair of 6s shrivels up a bit, but still the best hand.
I wouldn't mind a turn barrel here, but checking, of course, with showdown value is quite reasonable. We just have to be prepared that Foxen's liable to bluff this river, and are we going to find another river call with just third pair?
Can Foxen bluff his way to victory? Currently a 450K pot. $375,000. And a snap call from Ketola. He's playing great now.
And Foxen's going to take notice of that showdown, not only that it was third pair, which he expected to fold in
Never lucky.
in the first match, but also the speed with which Ossi called there, right? Clear statement, like, no, buddy, you're done bluffing me.
Yeah, I think it's very clear that Ossi has adjusted with more hero calls. And Foxen, he's aware of it. It's been seen twice. Third pair, ace high.
And here, a pre-flop 3-bet. Unfortunate timing that Foxen has quite a premium with the King Jack of Hearts.
Here comes King Jack of Hearts. I don't mind that he's opting the 3-bet.
No, it's nice.
900,000 in the middle. See an 8, a 10,
Oh
and a
my.
deuce, and it's 2 hearts out there.
This is-
Foxen, he's got everything.
This is action, Randy. We've got Ossi, who seems convinced at this point that he can call down Foxen light and it's going to lead to success. He's got 8 of hearts blocker as well. Needs to fade the world.
Does Foxen want to start attacking? Maybe try to fold out an ace high. Starts with 300,000, 1/3 pot.
One thing Foxen does really well that I've observed in tournaments is that even if his opponent makes 1 or 2 light calls, it doesn't stop him from continuing to play aggressively. He wants to be proven time and time again that he's going to get called down light. Otherwise, he's going to stick to the plan.
$1.5 million in the middle. Turn card is the queen.
Oh
Foxen
my.
improves to an open ender with the flush draw, but the pair of 8s is still the best hand.
We've seen Ossi fold hands of this strength to multiple streets of betting. Is Foxen gonna leverage this queen as a bluff card, or is he gonna try to avoid the potential turn check shove? Realizes 36%.
He checks it back. River card's the 5. Pair of 8s is good. Expecting this to get checked over to Foxen, but can Foxen try to blow out the 8?
It's also not out of the question to block here. Monarch could bet 300k, 400k, and expect to get called by worse sometimes.
He's gonna check. Can we bet with King High? Will we bet?
Well, remember the 10-6 of diamonds from round 1. We thought he had given up on his bluff and then bet full pot on the river, got Ossi to fold 2 jacks. Let's see if Foxen's willing to go back to that play.
He's gonna attack. How much is it? $850,000 bluff. Can Ossi find another hero call?
All in.
All in?
Ooh.
What the? He just check raised all in. He turned his pair into a bluff.
That is a sick river jam from Monarch. Not the first time we've seen him willing to pull the trigger on the river. And
Oh
it
my god, my heart sank for a second.
earns him an $8.5 to $4.5 million lead here in round 2.
Now, I didn't expect to see the check jam. I kind of wish Foxen had like a queen jack or an ace 10 there now.
Yeah.
Oh my god, but what beautiful poker that was from Ossi Ketola, aka Monarch. He's on a mission here. He's not going to get run over. That's very clear.
I can't help but wonder What happens if Foxen bets the turn there?
Maybe he check jams. Who knows, man? I don't think it's likely, but clearly Ketola is playing a different game here in match number 2. $12 million on the line. Winner take all. And look at this. 3-bet with Queen 9 offsuit. This is a different man.
He's found the right gear. Making the best hand from time to time. Obviously going to help. Matters for Monarch to make a comeback.
800,000 in the middle. Queen 9 versus Jack 10, and Queen 9 makes top pair. Wants to play Monarch. You gonna check? Yes, I like this check. It makes sense given how he's been playing. Keep it consistent.
And it wouldn't surprise me if Foxen takes the bait. I mean, you expect someone who's on a bit of a heater to be willing to pass on one here and there, right? You can relate to the player who's satisfied with how much they've won and they're like, okay, I'll take my foot off the gas. Here you go. Take this one. No problem. Rossi's got it again.
Ossi has thrown a fishing line out with some bait. Got a little nibble. 240,000. 1.28 in the middle now. And the king now gives Foxen an open-ended straight draw over cards the Queen 9.
You know, there's a pretty sick river in the deck, Randy.
Yes, there is. But first, we got to ask, will Foxen double barrel now that he's picked up more equity? He checked back the King Jack of Hearts the very last hand, which was a big combo draw. Is he afraid of getting check jammed on? Folding a hand like this?
It is a real concern, but you have to weigh that against the upside of just using a scare card to your advantage and running a better bluff.
He's going to bet again. 640,000. Half the pot.
Now it's starting to get murky with Queen 9. I don't know that a weaker queen would bet for value in Foxen shoes. It would be close.
I don't think a better queen would bet in this spot. He's got to be scared of Ketola's ace kings and king jacks that might play in that manner. River card's a 10, so showdown for Foxen. $2.5 million pot. Queen 9 is likely to take it down. Because Foxen shouldn't have many reasons to want to bet now.
No, I think good chance that Foxen is going to believe a 10 is good some percentage of the time if Ketola checks.
Ketola has actually thrown in a time bank.
We've seen this from Ossi before where he's keenly aware of board texture change, and I think he's had some success by leading rivers. He might believe there's a few hands he's losing to, and I don't know if he'll find it on this river. Like 10 of hearts would be a lot different, but there's a few hands he might be worried he's losing to, and he wants to shut them out.
Okay, so he's coming for a blocky
This is half
value
pot.
bet?
1.25.
million? Interesting. And it's actually the perfect bet against what he's up against. A pair of 10s. If Foxen calls, he's going to be down to $1 million of 12 million on the line. It is suspicious.
And we haven't yet talked about the possibility of a bluff jam.
For a million more seems unlikely, but possible. Plausible.
Do we ever think this is ace king or king jack and we can leverage the threat of 2 pair plus?
Foxen lays it down. Ketola tried to squeak out another 1.25 million. He's on 9.8 million. This might be the fastest match we've had so far. If he can just close this one out.
5-1 chip lead for Monarch.
Yes, 5-1 chip lead. I like how you try to bring it back to tournaments.
Randy, it's a heads up sit and go.
It is a heads up sit and go. A heads up tournament
Yeah,
between
same.
two people entered. $6 million apiece.
Cool.
Battle of the 9-7 offsuits.
Check.
Advantage to whoever bets first.
Ketola's got the first choice because it's checked over to him.
Check.
He checks it back. 10 on the turn. Can Foxen continue to bet turns when flops are checked through? Over bluff. Pick up key pots. He can't.
Check.
Things are different now. With the swing. But surely someone's going to attack, right? At some point, 300,000 in the middle. No one wants it. Foxen doesn't want it. Do you want to share?
This is the impact of what Ossi has shown early in this match.
Split or steal?
Bet 225.
Ketola's pick steal.
Monarch's getting bluff opportunities now, which are earned by the fact that he's bluff catching more often.
$10 million stack.
How much is that? 2.2.
How much you got?
Like 2 point, yeah, a little over 2.
Wait, you have 3 or 4? Or 3?
3.
Fuck, I'm blind.
Yeah. It's okay.
How much more money do I need to take from you before I win this match? 2 million.
Pass.
Can Foxen climb out of the hole?
Raise 150.
It's in that 35 big blind territory.
Cool.
Jack high texture.
Check.
Another check back. Just 10 high for Ossi. Here it looks harder to fold out ace high, but Foxen's going to try.
Foxen's back.
Back to it with the turn bluff. It's going to feel good to pick one up even though it's small.
Foxen needs to stay composed. Stick to the game plan that's been winning him these matches.
460. Check.
Top pair for Ketola.
Check. Bet 60.
Baits the bet from 10-6 offsuit, practically drawing dead. Love the check call from Queen 10. Just lending the rope to Foxen to hang himself.
Check.
Big difference, obviously, just flopping more quality hands is Monarch in this match. See if Foxen is more reluctant to run the no equity bluffs. Looks like he checks it back.
Yeah, it feels like he realizes Ketola's Mindset's very different this game. He's been calling down. He's very confident. You know, he's swaying around his chair.
Bet 3
He's
cents.
comfortably value betting as an overbet with top pair 10 kicker.
I like this play. We don't want to go so far if we're playing as Ossi to just think that we're going to induce a bluff every hand on every street, right? Have to play aggressively ourselves. Seek value when your hand is that under-repped.
So as it stands, Alex Foxen is up $9 million at the moment. If he wins this, he'd be up $15 million. But if he loses this match, he's only up $3 million.
Again with the onlys, Randy.
Only.
Only 3 million.
I'm telling you, this man Ossi Ketola, he won't stop playing. He wants to break some bankrolls.
Check.
Ketola with the bet. He really is mixing it up. Sometimes he checks, sometimes he bets. Playing a relatively balanced game today.
Pass.
Nicely done.
Good hand for it there as well. Unlikely to be best at showdown. A little bit of interaction. Foxen has to fold the winning king high.
Baby suited ace for Foxen.
Raise 120.
Trying to build that pot in position. Brings in the min raise. Pair versus pair. That's a lovely pair for Ketola. For Foxen, not too shabby. 3 of the ace kicker, backdoor clubs.
80.
Bet 80.
Wouldn't mind a check raise with a top pair that's this strong. Monarch just check called the queen 10 on queen jack X. I think he'd get some action from the ace 3 of clubs.
He's on the same page. There's the check raise at 225K.
Oh.
In comes the call. 690,000 a turn. That's quite the card for Foxen. Not flush draw.
It's unlikely the 10 has connected with Alex, but Monarch has pretty consistently slowed down when the top card changes. Not wanting to overplay what's now second pair.
Does go for the check.
Could see arguments for a small bet from Foxen when you've got the backup.
Checks it back. River card. 7 of spades. So the front door flush gets there.
Probably a small bet at maximum.
I think the small bet's actually quite nice for Ketola. His kicker is very relevant. If your opponent had 10, they probably would bet the turn. Flush draws might attack.
Not to mention 7-5, 7-6 that river the weaker pair.
Right, and I like the sizing he's going for, targeting the 3rd, the 4th, the 5th pairs.
Legitimate spot for Alex.
The price is good, but are you just getting milked? Gonna save 175,000. This has been a one-sided match. 1.5 million more to go. Ace 10 deuces. There are worlds where this just gets in pre, right?
Absolutely.
Raise 150.
Let's
He's
find
even
out.
gone 150.
You get a better price on a reshove.
I think we just jammed for 25 big blinds.
And I think we definitely snap call ace 10 offsuit. He's just gonna call.
Wow.
Unexpected from
Still
us.
managing that pre-flop confrontation. Dodges what feels like what would have ended the match. Now we can keep the pot small.
Yeah, very interesting choice from Foxen. But you're right. Match likely would have ended. For now, though, can Ketola
With 170.
close, extend his lead even more? I don't really see how deuces can fold, can it?
It's a big bet size, but still just within Foxen's range, pretty strong. A fold here would indicate just a read into strength from Ossi throughout this hand, and I think that's what it is.
Big fold there with a pair on a paired board. He was right. Foxen giving himself some life. The Jackson 5.
Oh,
Introducing a limp.
check.
Ketola obliges. Three to Broadway on the flop. Tank check.
Bet 60. Pass.
I bet we'll do it. Well, chat, who do you think is going to win this match now with these stacks? Do you think Foxen can claw back, pull a W? Because it's a big uphill battle to overcome, even with perceived skill edge. Ace 4 versus King 8 offsuit. Foxen is trying his best to widen the stack to pot ratio as much as he can with these limps. Trying to allow him to have multiple barrels post flop. Queen 7 deuce.
Bet 60. Oh,
A quick check call from King High. Still, Ace High versus King High. Ossi Ketola. Has he found a way to steal this pot? Check call lead.
It's going to confuse Foxen, but I don't know how we can justify putting more chips into this pot. Ace high, no draw.
Ketola's got the moves. It kind of feels like he went into this second match deciding that he's going to throw a lot of curveballs to kind of just mess with Foxen's head.
You know what's messing with my head, Randy?
What?
The way that Monarch is stacking his chips. Just this minefield of like
I like the lone
8
orange
to
chip. Do you see it?
14. It's just one orange chip
Okay, 20.
off to the side. That overhead shot especially was just giving me a headache.
Well, Foxen doesn't need his opponent to stack his chips properly because he can just count his own stack and then subtract from 12 million.
What's a non-issue? Couple of decent draws on this flop. Foxen calling the 150 out of the big blind. Oh, he's going to try and set his price.
Leading 60K. That's a new move. Let's throw a curveball back right at you.
I do like this from Foxen. He's just so willing to try stuff and see what response he gets. Searching for new edges. The price is right.
He's got position. Draw to a nice straight.
Call.
And a call. 420. So Foxen let the flop. Is he going to lead again?
290.
He's trying.
90.
I like this from Alex. I think it's going to work.
Well done. Keep fighting. Play the long game. No need to try and push. Win a big pot. Just grind your way. You can still do it off of the 1.6 million.
Raise 120.
Back to a raising strategy for Alex Foxen. Pocket kings.
Call.
Set of kings for Foxen.
Check.
It's like, huh, don't normally flop this good.
It's going to be a letdown.
Like, please have an ace. Please have an 8.
Pass.
Tried to bet the minimum. Got no customers. Pocket 5s for Ketola. It's up against Jack 8 suited.
Check.
Gonna be a limp pot. Looks like Ketola was thinking about limp jamming the 2 5s.
Check.
Foxen picked up the flush draw. Jack or 8 would do it too. Kind of like a bet here from the 5s. Just try to clear out random equity.
Yeah, these 5s rate to be best on Queen 4-4 very often. And this could look light. Foxen resists the check raise. I thought maybe clearing out unpaired hands might be on his mind.
Check.
Now, the deuce of spades is about as clean as they come. I might go for another value bet.
Bet once again.
He sure does. 175,000. What now if Jack 8 suited?
Yeah, it's uncomfortable for the Jack high diamond draw. You're out of position, the price isn't that good. It feels like Alex needs to win more money on the river when he improves in order to justify a call.
Call.
He makes that call. Perhaps he feels he's up against 5-6 occasionally. Speaking of 5-6, there's a 6.
Check.
Pocket 5's got a lot of value out of his hand.
Yeah, this is nicely done. I think we can check behind now. It doesn't feel that likely that Foxen has a queen, but he might also have been trapping with something really strong. Are we really going to get called for 3 streets?
Ossi Ketola,
Monarch's going to try.
175,000. That is some amazing awareness that 2 5s are still good.
You just always worry that you've opened the door for someone as, you know, I say reactive kind of in a good way here. Like, Foxen's capable of reacting to this bet size and finding a check raise bluff.
Try to rep the 4. So hard to rep the 4. I mean, not check raise the flop as well.
Sometimes just saying the words all in, especially when they carry $1.5 million with them, is enough to shake a thin bluff catch, but Foxen does pass.
I still can't believe Ossi Ketola check jammed the 9-8.
That was a great hand.
Turn his hand into a bluff.
Thank you for reminding me. I'm writing that one down for later.
Call.
I really do wish now that Foxen had a 1-pair hand.
Please give me this one in 5s.
Yeah, it would have been great to see if he could sniff out the bluff catch, right? I
don't think he would.
don't think he would.
We know he's capable, but I just really don't think he would. Not in that instance with the information he's had. Pair versus pair. 1 pair, much more powerful given it's better. And it has the deuce of spades. That reduces outs for 6-9.
Call.
Well, talk about outs reduction.
Check.
Even more so with the 3. 9, no longer good.
Feels thin with no kicker to go with our jack, but the fact that the deuce is a spade
Check.
could justify a turn barrel. Because now it's going to be harder to get value from this 6 once the board changes.
So Foxen technically improved his hand. Not sure if he wanted to.
Yeah. Unlikely he gets more value.
You block the jack that might hero call against you.
Check.
Knuckle.
Suited. Yeah.
Our chat is very lively. Rightfully so. Hope you guys are enjoying it. Randy Liu, Nanoko, alongside Kevin Rabichow. Krabichow. Does anyone ever call you Krabichow?
No, I get Crab sometimes, because my old screen names were
Crab
Like
number.
Crab 42, K-Rab 42, whatever
What's 42?
way you want to pronounce it. It was just a number.
You got bored and you just clicked 2
No,
random numbers?
There was no special meaning to it.
Boring. I'm sorry I called you boring. Forgive me.
Well, you just called my choice of screen name boring, which is like kind of just accurate. First initial, first 3 letters of my last name.
Yeah.
I didn't try that hard. Is there a story behind Nanonoko?
There is, but I don't want to tell you.
It's a bad story.
Hold on. Ketola, 10-5 suited.
Worst hand pre-flop. Has a flip here with a front door flush draw. No improvement on the turn. See if Alex goes back to basics and starts taking the lead after flop goes check check. Turn probe, we would call this, has been 100%,
Foxen,
91%. I don't know.
91.2. 91.22. 220K is the bet. Yeah, Foxen still retaining this strategy of probing.
Ten high flush draw looks like a continue to me.
I don't know why I get this feeling he was going to raise, but he actually folds, which is great for Foxen. Doesn't
Yeah.
need to decide what to do on the river.
Big pickup. Chat was rooting for King of Diamonds. They're asking for blood. Relatively small exchange after the turn fold.
K9 versus Natural 9.
Yo, 60.
60. The deep line.
Oh.
Thank you.
Not what you want to see when you've got pocket tens in the big blind.
Especially when you're a short stack.
Raise 120.
Foxen now, demoted to pocket eights. Out flop. At a 10-7 offsuit. Creating middle pair.
One of the better hands to check behind if we're Foxen.
Bet 80.
Well, he's not going to check behind. He's got a bet size tell. 80K for pocket eights.
Oh, that's a good read.
He
Helps
would've-
that we can see the cards.
He would have made it 88,000 if he was allowed to.
Can't fit 1K chips on the table when the small blind is 30,000.
Can you imagine putting out 31K chips for the small blind, 61K chips for the big?
One chip at a time as well. Just
It's like trying to pay someone in pennies. Ever try to do that?
I haven't.
Try to buy into WSOP main.
I wouldn't know where to get them.
The bank, obviously.
Bet 160.
Foxen's trying to set his price for showdown. We've seen this a couple times from him. Small bet on the turn, hoping river goes check check. Actually hasn't been that successful in my opinion. Sometimes he's facing river leads. He's also not always getting called by weaker hands. If we didn't feel like the eights were behind on the turn, the 9 is certainly not going to help.
There's the check.
And check.
And another check. 720K pot for the 10.
And it's good.
Sounded like Monarch's doing what he needs to wake up there.
120.
Fading a little bit.
Don't fade now.
3:30 a.m. local.
You gotta lock it up.
Important to close this one out. Couple of big pre-flop hands here.
Let's see if Foxen opts to 3-bet King Queen offsuit off of these stacks.
He has been so reluctant to 3-bet throughout this match, but as we get shorter, gotta think he's gonna turn it up at some point. Not here.
Gonna stick with the strategy. Just calling. It's gonna let Ketola pick up an open-ended straight draw against King Queen High.
Staying aggressive in this match. 80K. And I think we continue with the King Queen. Pretty strong unpaired hand.
Yeah, I like it. Sometimes you turn to king or queen, your opponent tries to rep it. Occasionally like a 7 forward, deuce rolls off, you represent the straight. There's a deuce, and
Let's see if Foxen follows your lead, Randy. No turn lead.
could see it potentially on the river. However, King Queen High's, got decent showdown.
And it depends if Monarch's gonna let this check through. Does feel like a good hand to keep your foot on the gas with.
Yeah, I like the double barrel. It's very smooth. Just 125,000. Kicks out the King Queen. Well done, sir. Well played. So has Foxen 3-bet pretty much 0 times from the big?
I think so.
Yeah.
Even short now, we saw him flat pocket deuces, flat king queen offsuit.
Doesn't want to make this a high variance game.
Saw him flat jack 10 of clubs earlier when they were deeper.
Here's the thing, when you try to avoid a high variance game, you do kind of miss some opportunities occasionally.
Well, here the limp is proving to work reasonably well. Queen 10 suited checks the big blind, but Foxen's going to lose some chips post flop here. Top 2 against middle pair.
Foxen thinks he's got the best hand. Doesn't realize he stepped right into it. Top 2 pair of the slow play. King of Hearts. Bit unclear whether Ketola wanted to see that card. There are some hands that beat him now, but he does pick up the flush draw. Maybe his opponent just picked up a king. That would be quite nice.
Genuine consideration of a lead there, I think. See if that slows Foxen down or if he continues to try to get thin turn value.
He went with check. This board run out is quite gross for Queen 10. Makes it more difficult to get a worse hand to call you. Jack would make a straight.
Still seems worth a value bet.
I think so. Mainly because I expect the Jack to bet the turn at some frequency.
Pretty sizable.
Confident. 200 to 240. Foxen contemplating call. Does fold.
Foxen just strikes you as someone who hates folding. Like, it's just so painful in his soul.
At
And he
least
knows it's the right thing to do, but it takes a lot of courage.
imagine if he was allowed to punch things when he hates folding. He can probably break a punching bag if I had to guess.
You think we need to set something up behind the table? Just like a tilt corner?
Yeah. You know, like those, I forget what they call them, those rooms where you can just smash plates and everything. You get like
Yeah.
a bat.
Yeah. As we're getting shorter, small adjustment there. Foxen folding the big blind with Jack 5 against a min raise. We saw him calling much less.
But his camera work is nice.
That's a cool shot.
Oh, man. Just Foxen now.
Can I talk about the tournament for a second, Randy? Heard a little chant, "Let's go Pavi" in the background, not "Let's go Ossi."
Okay.
It's because Alexa Pavasevich took down his second Triton title
Did he?
in the 50K Bounty Quattro just now.
Well done.
You know, the last event that he played was the Triton Invitational in Montenegro.
I remember that very clearly.
He also won that. Like literally back-to-back tournaments for him at Triton stops.
You also know where he's from, right?
1-2 in a row. Montenegro, right?
That's right.
Congrats to him. Hopefully see him in the main event.
I'm going to turn your attention to a $12 million heads-up match now.
Come on, that was
It's all right.
that was an appropriate amount of time to shout out to our Triton regulars.
Oh, man, Ossi Ketola is leading with 9 deuce.
Okay, that's fair. We should talk about that. Gets 9-7 to fold.
He tried to double down for less. Still won the pot. Dealer busted.
Would you mind giving some change? Thank you.
Is it hard for you, Randy, to be in a casino and you can't play blackjack?
Or can I?
Hope that's not what you're doing on your breaks.
I'm being inspired by these stakes.
Raise 150.
9-4 of clubs. Foxen's on sub 1 million. You see it?
And again, I wouldn't have minded just going for the jam. I know the plan here has been to keep pots small from out of position, but 150K was on offer. We're sitting on 1 million. Suited king. It's not like Ossi is open folding a bunch of buttons and this is a super strong range.
Yeah, it's really interesting because Foxen is clearly tailored his game for this opponent, and I feel like if it was a heads-up tournament where they're down to these shallow stacks, he would be taking more of these re-raise opportunities.
Yeah.
Now, of course, it's a little different given there's no big blind ante, but it's definitely worth considering.
Yeah, there was 210,000 out there. That's a pretty significant pickup. By the way, we've checked down to the river, top pair versus second pair. Both pretty strong holdings given the spot.
Yeah, Foxen tried to adjust and check to the pre-flop raiser. Ketola didn't take the bait. And now it's an overbet.
It's got to call the 325, right? We're
Uh-huh.
very under-repped with 9-4.
Does under-rep matter if you can make sick reads? And a sick read it is. Ossi Ketola is playing amazing here in game 2.
That was wild, Randy.
That's brutal for Foxen because he really needs to claw back into this match and get some value. Just love watching these counters and adjustments both players are making. I just feel like the real beauty of heads up is the length of these matches when you get to see all these micro adjustments, you know? It's not like, oh, who can win in 20 hands?
Yeah. Extended by the fixed blind level for this sit and go. 30K, 60K will be the stakes until someone runs out.
Back 60.
I mean, how does he not lose a single bet post flop with mid pair?
That's what I'm talking about. That's what was insane about that hand.
Didn't even lose an extra 60K to min. Jack 9 makes the call. Suit blockers. 2 overs to the 7 for Foxen. Round of checks. One card flush draw blockers. You attack.
Yeah, the Jack-9 interacting with 1 diamond, 1 spade. Could be an excuse to stab if we think that unpaired hands are just going to fold.
Yeah, definitely helps to block some of the continues. And it checks through once again. Jack 9 now turning into second pair.
Could feel like because we just potted this spot in the previous hand, it's now time to make the same play for value.
235.
Sizing down, but still taking aggression first. Foxen out of position.
You didn't call your overbet last time. Maybe a size down will work.
Feels like Monarch's going through the idea of raising. Oh my.
Oh my god, he just put them all in with 9 high. What's going on? It was check, 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 bet. Can Foxen call 860,000 more?
It's so interesting when you have this hand. You've got a jack, you've got a spade. And this is not the first river raise. I think it's maybe the 3rd or 4th of this match. Today, that is.
If Foxen can call, he can be back in this match. But if he calls, and he's actually up against the goods, he's lost all of his profit in this hand.
I think he's suspicious, Randy. Time bank used.
It's stressful out there. You can understand it. Second pair. He folds the best hand. Ossi Ketola. You the man. Well played, sir. Well played.
All in.
All in.
I'm just speechless. Just speechless, Kevin. He is a poker legend in the making. Monarch. So close to closing this one out. Foxen's down to 860,000. He's got 9-4 suited. One more inch closer. Foxen's got king 6 offsuit. Is it all in time yet? We're getting close. We're going to limp.
Feels like a bit too much with no ante in play. Just limping. Foxen's committed to grinding this one out.
Well, it's top pair versus the flush draw. Foxen really needs this pot to go his way. Currently has the best hand. 75,000. Wow, that turn card. More outs for Ketola. 10 or club. Can really spoil the fun for Alex Foxen.
Alex has to feel pretty good about continuing.
Let's build this pot, right? Top pair. Some more pair gut shots out there that can call. 200. Oh my god, he just snap check jammed a combo draw.
We got to call this off, right?
520K back. Foxen, you got the best hand. You just got to call, and he makes the call. Any club, any 10, and Ossi Ketola wins this $12 million match. And it's a 9.
25.
Foxen
That's one right.
still has life,
Yeah, go.
winning the $1.7 million pot. And they need a break. A little break. So close to closing this one out was Monarch. Welcome back to the booth. So seems like they need a few minutes to continue this match. Shall we talk about the big bluff? The 9-8 offsuit against the Jack-9?
I mean, yeah, let's talk about it, Randy.
You're stunned.
It caught me off guard for a couple of reasons. I mean, one is that Ossi checks his way down to the river, seemingly isn't trying to represent anything, and then activates with very little hesitation with the 9-8 in the face of 235K. So Foxen not only showing some amount of strength on the river, but Ossi also just piecing together very fast. This is the spot I want to take. The other side of it, and I'll ask you, Randy, is I really did think that Foxen was going to piece together that bluff, but maybe I'm biased by how many showdowns we've seen in the booth that maybe haven't been revealed to his opponent, right? Ossi's been active on rivers.
Yeah, and the thing is, Ossi also got the big raise all in with the pair of 9s, right, where he was turning himself into bluff. But the thing is, Foxen doesn't realize that Ossi is making these type of plays.
Yeah.
Also, Ossi has been very consistent with having a very balanced checking range.
Yeah.
So it's not like, oh, he didn't bet the flop, he can't have a flush, things like that. But the thing is, you felt like he was going to call off the Jack-9. And is it because of the way Ossi played the hand with a lot of checking, or is it because of the blocker properties?
Kind of both, right? So one thing I'm reminded of was it very early on, I don't think it showed down, but Foxen bet an ace for value. Was that even yesterday? It's all a blur for me.
It's all a blur,
Randy,
but go on.
But Foxen bet an ace on the river. He had rivered top pair. He got raised by nothing, Jack-9, I think it was. And Ossi got caught that hand. He ran that bluff. It got caught. I don't know if the card showed down, but Foxen has at least one lived experience of bluff catching that spot.
Yeah, I do recall that hand. I believe that was yesterday.
So connecting that to what I view as good blocker properties, and I'll talk about that for a second. You've rivered second pair. Sure, second pair is not that great on its own, but when Ossi checks down to the river and raises, he's kind of claiming to have improved on that river.
Okay.
It's not necessarily a consistent story that says, oh, I just flopped 2 pair, I checked behind twice, and now I'm activating. No, it's more like I've hit this river in some way. Pocket jacks, rivered flush, something like that, right? Foxen did a good job removing all of that with his hand, so I thought that combination would lead to a call.
And he didn't, and he was left with about 800,000, and Foxen was very close to being out the door with that big combo draw that Ossi Ketola just pushed in that last hand you just witnessed. But, you know, it's not over yet. We're still letting them take their little break. We'll be back shortly to the $12 million match. But while we have time, why don't we talk about that 9-8 offsuit turn his hand into a bluff? I mean, like, that's something you didn't expect, right?
No, I didn't expect it. And it feels to me, you know, parts of Aussie's game plan from round one and even going back to match one against Limitless a couple of days ago, he seems a lot more comfortable running bluffs at the end of the hand. He seems a lot more engaged with the idea like, oh, this is the spot where I can take absolute nothing and I can outplay my opponent. He's less involved with like early street raises with equity or creative turn bets or something like this, right? We're just seeing a lot of, for whatever reason, this is the spot, and I'm not quite clear on what it is that Aussie's picking up in those spots.
Well, the mindset, I feel like, has certainly changed. In game one, Aussie just lost every single pot. Felt
Yeah.
like his game plan hasn't changed at all. But something clicked.
Yeah.
Like, he lost that first match within an hour. And then he was like, let's just run it back for another $6 million apiece, $12 million match. And then we have seen a lot of strategy shifts, right?
I mean, can we talk for a minute about the huge pre-flop shift that we've
Yes.
seen in this
Go
match,
on.
right? Aussie very active in 3-betting. Foxen committed to not 3-betting. So as we continue playing relatively short stacked, 1.7 million effective, I believe, 30K, 60K blinds, Foxen has to amp up the pre-flop aggression or else Aussie's going to keep running him over.
Yeah, I'm starting to wonder if Foxen is regretting this only single raise pot strategy. But it does seem like the players are back at the table. Let us continue this match. $6 million a player. Foxen's only got about 1.4 or $1.5 million left. It's a winner take all. You got to win all 12 million. We got to go home with 0 for this match to conclude. It's actually up to 1.8 million, as you can see. Six-5 versus King 10 suited. And you can see how Foxen is trying to introduce this limping strategy at 30 big blind stack depth, but immediately raised.
I do like that hand just from both sides, that one feeling fairly by the book. Pre-flop strategy. 6-5 offsuit, not strong enough to do much else.
These ducklings. Want to find another duck?
Let's run
Sorry,
it,
it
he
just made me
says.
laugh. He just made a 5 million with deuces. Not that 5 million would play, given Foxen didn't have 5 million.
That's one way for us to set the record for largest pot. If Aussie just starts open jamming for 10 million.
Right.
That counts, right?
I don't know if it counts.
Queen 10 suited. Another opportunity for a tower of oranges to enter the pot. 3-bet jam very much on the table.
Well, 3-bet is on the table to 325,000. I like the strategy that Aussie is employing.
Yeah.
It's just be relentless. Just knowing heads up your opponent's just going to get so much garbage.
Yeah.
Why not?
And recognizing the value of hands like Queen 10 suited. I think we'd seen him flat a similar hand strength not long ago, and just
right.
adapting to the new scenario. You know, Aussie wasn't... We've played a fair bit of 25, 30 big blind poker, but think Ossi, when he takes those quick breaks, gives him a chance to evaluate, like, what exactly is the scenario that we're playing right now, get his head in the game a little bit. Oh,
He went 4x. Interesting. Now, I
this,
would think this has to be a jam given the size now, right? For Foxen, he can't play small ball anymore.
I would like to see a jam. The price is so bad on a call, and we don't want to jump to conclusions about this just being strength, right? We're fresh off of a break, maybe just an idea that Ossi came up with. He is all in.
All in for 1.5. That'll be disappointing for Ossi Ketola. Try to mix it up there.
Thinking back to some of the hands I saw from Ossi versus Jungle Man in Cyprus, and I think he was doing some of that at the time. The odd limp and then large open. Just another tool in the toolkit that's being broken out here.
Yeah, I don't mind the larger open. I just would prefer when my opponent is deeper so he can't just 3-bet rip a hand like that.
Yeah, I think that's key. It's a good point, Randy.
King Jack versus 6-5 offsuit. Queen, queen, 3.
Ossi has not checked. He's going to lead for 100K.
Interesting. On a queen, queen, 3 rainbow texture.
You know, it feels like that idea to amp up the variance has really taken shape since we returned from this break. But to your point about being so short here relative to the blinds, it's just maybe not the right time for Monarch to amp up the variance. I mean, you're 10 million against 1.5. Don't you want the variance to be low right now? Just cruise your way to a win?
Yeah, I hear you. Loud and clear.
Playing big pots right now is Foxen's best chance at getting back into this.
Foxen very likely to win this pot.
Obviously helped that he's being dealt the winner. King Jack maybe could seek a little protection here. We don't expect ace high in Ossi's range. I like this from Alex. Just stab small, take it down against 2 live cards.
I swear if Ossi comes in with check raise with 6-5 high, I'm going to lose it.
Would be out of character. I know we're seeing a different Ossi, but turn check raise, I don't know if we've seen any.
Flop lead, turn check raise. Do it for me, Ossi. Expected outcome. And a nice pot for Foxen, who actually gets to 2 million.
Oh my. Randy, we have a cooler on our hands.
9s versus queens, Ossi Ketola. He can get this all in very easily against pocket 9s. The 9s are certainly going to 3-bet off of this stack.
Yeah, even if we're trying to reduce variance, this hand is just so strong.
How good does this feel for Ketola? Especially because he hasn't seen Foxen 3-bet very much. Therefore, it's probably a hand that can call it off. And there's all the orange chips. And there's the call. $4 million pot en route. Ketola can close this out if he can dodge the 2 9s. Pray emoji. Foxen needs help, or all his profit is gone. In match number 2. Queen, Jack, deuce. We need runners. No runners.
Easy.
And Foxen is done. Wow. Ossi Ketola has just won the $12 million heads-up match,
What time is it?
and he's back to even.
Before 4, but I think not long before 4.
Shall we?
Sure.
Let's go. Wait, I confirm.
3:38.
Okay, we can go.
Okay. Let me just.
Yeah, I need my phone quickly.
Round 3? Is that what they're saying?
That sounded like
We finished the match
A
on
nod.
time?
3:38 was the time they announced on the stage.
That's right. As
One
long
more
as the match
rematch.
finishes by 4 a.m., we can squeeze one more in there. So you guys are going to get a third match between Ossi Ketola and Alex Foxen.
I know Randy's thrilled.
I'm so happy. Like, my life is complete right now. Life's good. So what we're going to do is we're going to send it down to commercials, and then we have round 3 coming. See you guys soon.
$1 million.
You say he hasn't 3-bet much. He hasn't 3-bet at all. Which yields 10, 9, 3, 2 diamonds. Open-ended straight draw versus the pair of 9s, king kicker.
Couple of big hands for this stack depth.
100.
Although I'd be surprised if Foxen was going to press the action on the flop. Often just get it in against a 10 or better.
100K. Flicks in the call. $150K lead.
3 pairs. Foxen doesn't believe that Ossi has a 3. Remember the 150K pre-flop raise. It is hard to have a 3.
There's the call.
Ooh, and the ace. Likely check now for Foxen. Definitely a real threat that Ossi has an ace.
Just 800,000 in the middle. Ossi just has jack high. Can he represent the ace credibly?
The only reason he wouldn't be able to represent it is
He's trying.
the amount of action that went in on flop and turn. Ossi bet the flop, which he wouldn't do with every ace high. He called the turn. You'd think that needs to be a draw of some kind.
Can Foxen find a call and end this match and get $12 million back? Here. Got the bluff catcher. The best hand.
It's a pretty good quality bluff catcher. The fact that Foxen's thought this long about it already, I think he gives Ossi credit for pulling the trigger. It's just a question of how often he arrives here empty. Even if he had like queen jack high, he probably shows it down, right?
Gonna be another time bank by Alex Foxen.
Foxen doesn't want to let Monarch back into this match lightly. If he calls and he's wrong, he's up to $2.5 million.
He makes the call.
Nice one.
Ossi Ketola bluffed it off. He's down $6
Okay,
million.
Take 1 minute.
An excellent point. Foxen's actually up 9.3 million because he cashed the 150K today.
Oh. Congratulations, Foxen. You got some change. 300K in change. 9-8 offsuit, dealt again to Foxen. Ace-9 high. Checks it. And the queen on the turn.
Ace-9 showdownable, but
Is he
If
going to
thing-
get to show it down?
if things continue the way they've gone, it's going to cost a little extra to see showdown.
250K. Foxen's just relentless. Whenever he sees his opponent check back the flop, he just almost auto fires the turn blindly.
And if that's the case, Ace-9 has a case for just calling here and calling basically any river.
Oh, look at this adjustment from Ossi Ketola.
I like this.
He calls with ace high, the gut shot. Was giving up pairs before.
We haven't seen Foxen insistent on following through when the board blanks like this.
He also hasn't had the opportunity to do so either, given that Ossi has been folding a lot of turns.
I would be tempted, though, as Foxen to keep firing because we even lose to hands like Jack High that have an open ender on the turn, or maybe a 9 high spade draw that we chop with.
Wow, Foxen 650,000, just pressing on Ketola. I don't see how Ketola can call, can he? Ace high?
He absolutely can. We just haven't seen it yet. Monarch needs to find some of these calls if he wants to have a chance in this round 2.
But it was a really big turn bet. How does my opponent have a queen?
That's a great question, Randy.
Unless it's like queen jack?
You win.
Wow, Ossi Ketola calls of ace-9. The martingale run. Gonna be real here.
That's an important call, Randy, and almost exactly what we called for was
Calls. And welcome back to the Monarch Games. The martingale is real. Ossi Ketola has won round 2 to be even for the day. And once again, another match, round 3 incoming, because they finished this match right before 4 a.m. at 3:38 local, I believe, at the time.
That's right.
So we can play one more round, $6 million apiece. You enjoying it, Kevin?
I mean, how can you not, Randy? We've been talking about the big stakes. We've been talking about the adjustments game. Ossi came out of that last break and really just came into round 2 with a totally different game plan, a lot more aggressive, and I think that's going to make it really hard for Foxen to lock up an easy win the way he coasted through round 1.
Yeah, and the thing is, can Foxen adjust once more? We got to see him do it yesterday. He lost the first match. The second match, he made really good adjustments, and he's been trying to use those adjustments in this game, right? But the thing is, Ossi's kind of mixed it up once again. Like you mentioned, he's ramped up the aggression. He's won a lot of the big 3-bet pots from what I remember, right? Like, of course,
Yeah.
the 8-9 bluff, some other key ones as well. But it seems like, once again, the players are in their seats. $12 million heads-up match. I'm so excited. I'm so excited, and it's 4 a.m., and I've got so much energy. Let's bring it on. $6 million apiece.
I'm really glad that Ossi's cleaning up his stack a little bit. The chips are still they're just disheveled enough to concern me, but I'll be okay, Randy.
You'll be all right. So 100 big blinds apiece, 30K, 60K. Ace 4, 3, 2 hearts. Actions on Ossi Ketola, also known as Monarch. A slow check.
Well, we saw Ossi leading flops just in the last few hands of round 2.
Nope. Just breaking protocol from time to time.
Just to make clear that those long pauses are not for no reason. He's genuinely considering playing each spot aggressively.
Ketola with the check call. King of hearts. Still the best hand. 400,000 in the middle now. Double barrel. Foxen. Sticking with the strategy of relentless double barrels.
Yeah, I'm happy to see that Foxen hasn't totally given up on that. I'm sure frequency will drop from what was once 100% to some more reasonable number. But he can't just stop bluffing in a heads-up match. You're going to get dealt trash so often. Have to find opportunities, even if Monarch has shown that he's willing to make some calls.
Well, guys, match 3 today. Who do you think's going to win it? Who's going to win $6 million? 9-4 suited. I'm curious to see if Foxen 3-bets King Jack suited. Will he make an adjustment or stick to his single raise pot strategy? Yep, he's raising. We're adjusting. And we're going to win this pot.
It's about time, Randy. 3 bets incoming. We recognize that you have to fight fire with fire.
That's right. But as a spectator, I kind of want to add some extra gas to that fire. Really get into the 4-bet pot weeds occasionally.
Oh, no doubt. It's coming when Foxen starts to 3-bet the big blind. We saw what Ossi was willing to do against Limitless.
You're right. The first 2 4-bets that Ossi made against Limitless, he actually was bluffing. Queen deuce suited. Nothing has changed for Ketola. If aggression was what won him the match in the last match, why stop? Don't fix it if it ain't broke. He's in the zone.
Would love to see Foxen putting in some 3 and 4-bet bluffs himself as well. It's surprising to me given the skill set that he brings to tournament poker, where he's so observational and willing to, you know, jump on what looks like a weak open or a weak 3-bet. Haven't seen that once against Ossi.
Yeah, it seems like Foxen is just very happy playing these single raise pots as we bring the ace, ace, ace flop. I feel like I've seen these trip flops like quite a bit this week. Obviously, we're talking about the Super High Roller Series.
Couple of 6-6-6 flops.
I saw a 9-9-9 turn 9 river 6.
That's
That was hilarious.
I feel like even Limitless had one against Ossi a couple days ago. I remember
He laughed. I remember that part.
a 2-street bluff, but I forget the 7-7-7 maybe.
King high versus queen high at the moment.
Both hands should feel reasonable to showdown on this board.
If I get to the river of queen high, I'm pretty happy to check this one back.
Fuck.
until you hear king.
A little lead for Foxen, early start. Ketola now, 150K. In comes the call from Foxen. Ace 8, 6, 2 diamonds. Pairs the 3 for Foxen. Gonna try to cobble some value out of bottom pair. Seeking clarity.
Yeah, this still targeting the idea that unpaired hands are just checking back too
Wow.
often, and this is dangerous. I mean, Ossi being sticky, which we like, but running into a thin value bet. This is why it's so important to find aggression, and can he steal this one away from Alex on the river when the straight completes?
Yeah, I don't think he's looking to float Queen 7 high and just check it back if it gets over to him. It is going to get over to him. 550,000 in the middle as he takes a swig of Red Bull. Is he energized to follow through with a bet?
Three.
And he checks it back. That is disappointing and deflating.
I think he's thinking back to that 8-6 versus 5-4 hand. Foxen took a similar line and check called the river with fourth pair correctly.
Yeah, it felt like he was intending to bluff and then just had a change of heart after the Red Bull went through his system in 0.1 seconds. He was just like, oh, maybe I'll shut down.
I'm guessing the Red Bull hasn't hit yet.
I don't know, you haven't tried the new Red Bulls?
What are the new Red Bulls?
I have no idea. I don't really drink Red Bull. You like it?
No, I think it's absolutely atrocious.
Like Skittles. Carbonated Skittles.
Just has that smell. Like if someone cracks a can within, I don't know, 20 feet of me. It just feels sick.
You feel sick.
Yeah.
Oh, there's some Red Bulls next to me. I feel like opening one right now.
Why would you? Why do you have it out for me, Randy?
Oh, we're a team, aren't we? I'm sorry. Krabachow.
Trying to do commentary on your own? I'll just leave.
Okay.
If I'm not welcome here, I understand.
Crab 42, can you please stay?
I'm just. So long, chat.
Hey, you're actually leaving. You can turn around. Turn around. Turn back on the mic because we got Ace Queen versus 9-8 offsuit. And we know what Ketola's going to do.
Raise 120.
Let's bring in the heat.
Raise 500.
500,000 and drinking some more Red Bull. I don't know if Foxen likes that smell either. It's got 9-8 offsuit.
Pass.
Double peek and fold.
All right, I'm staying.
I was going to say, you going to come back in or not?
But only for Profion in the chat. Not for you, Randy. Someone's got my back.
Oh, he said, I thought for a second, I thought he called you a noob,
150.
but there's no B on the no. Nine to 5. Gonna work a little overtime against King 10 of clubs, and it flops. Inferior pair to the 10.
Foxen back to his wide out of position approach. Now that we're 6 million deep. Gonna lose him a bit here. Size up from Ossi, 200K.
2/3 spot.
Obviously, we've seen big sizes in the past, but I want to say today, 100K has been the norm. This a slight deviation.
Gets a call out of Foxen.
Oh,
Had a terrible turn card for Foxen, but amazing for Ketola. Strip 10s.
it's especially bad if Foxen has seen any of the tape from Ossi's match against Limitless. If you remember, one of the biggest bluffs that he ran was on a paired board into trip 8s.
You're right. I do remember that one.
Happily barreled 3 streets.
I remember the river was 900,000 with a stone cold bluff. And he got snapped.
If he keeps his foot on the gas here.
It's a big bet.
550,000. We've got a pretty good 2-pair with the 9-5. No interference with draws.
Yeah, it feels like the key factor is the no interference with the draws. No spade in hand. No queen, jack, 8-7, which would block some of the semi-bluffs that Ketola would strongly consider a double barrel with. What about deviation in hero fold the 9? He can't. Good spot is up to 1.8 million. The 6 brings in 8-7, but of course, spades brick. Straight draws above the 10-9 brick. Or just a YOLO bluff. Still could exist.
All in.
Wow, he just went all in. $4.5 million overbet. Trying to just end it against 10 jack, queen 10, or a very suspicious 9x.
This feels greedy, Randy.